I want to say happy holidays to all. Hope everybody had a spectacular holiday. I mean, one of the greatest times you get college football bowl games, you get the college football playoffs, and you get the NFL starting to really form its playoff teams and what teams are going to play what round. You're seeing a lot of jockeying, especially, I'll tell you what, week 18, it matters. Both Saturday and Sunday football games are going to dictate a lot when it comes to the playoffs and the seeding. The number one seed is out of reach for the Philadelphia Eagles, but the 2 is still there for them. That was a heck of a football game last night, by the way, between the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, we're going to get into all of that. Please hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. Thank you so much here, man. I really appreciate this super here. Happy belated holidays to you and Xander and the families. But having said that, the MVP that you glaze over like a dog in heat couldn't hit a wide open guy just like Noodle Arm Hurts does. Noodle Arm Hurts does how you doing. All right. Well, let me go here with this. Bro, Jalen Hurts was terrible in that football game in the second half. He was terrible. The entire offense was terrible. Terrible. Wild prediction sales will be the biggest glazed donut today. Not for that fucking shitbag offense of yours. Not for that. Hey, by the way, for the record, bro, I don't even know who Josh Allen was throwing the ball to yesterday. The Philadelphia Eagle offense had nothing to do with that win. That was all Vic Fangio and that defense and special teams. So again, hit the like button. We appreciate each and every single one of you coming aboard. Your offense is the fucking worst offense of any of the 14 playoff teams that will play and participate in the NFL playoffs. Plain and simple, and it's been that way the entire year. The worst. Your defense is arguably one of the best. Your coordinator is insane right now. Your offense is pathetic. Tom Brady criticized the O-line, play calling, and drop passes. He had zero criticism of Hurts and trust the analysts of the GOAT over anyone else. Good luck to you, bro. Get this. This is now, how many games now as a quarterback now not have any completions where Tom Brady would say this. He had no completions in the Bucs game, and he's had no completions in the second half of the Bills game. Yeah, I've seen that before. Like, no. Our defense held your boy Sills, no holds. He's back. Yeah, I think that is. So let me give you my takeaway. By the way, I thought Xander Krauss had a great number today and a great line today. 3 games with less than 5 passing yards and a half is becoming a trend. You've by far got one of the worst passing attacks in pro football. I don't want to start there, though. I want to start with the good. And you know what that is? Your defense. I'll get to the bad in a minute. That's the offense and Hurts. Let me get to the good and then the great. The good is the special teams. Those guys were so good. The punter was spectacular. They pinned him numerous times in red zone issues. I thought the special teams was great. You hit field goals in bad weather. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay? Just great. I thought the defense played at every level. That was a 60-minute football game. 60 minutes. Jalen Hurts was freaking horrible. Say it, Sills. No, he wasn't. He led his team back. Again, Allen's asked to do more. Your guy can play like shit, and they win. Allen can't play like that. Listen, Ajomo has surpassed Milton's 24 sack total. He now has more sacks, quarterback hits, and hurries than Milton in 24. One more game to go. That's awesome contributing. Absolutely true. Chills, there's no coincidence. The 2 best defenses drafted the 2 sandbox players in Anderson and Carter. Yes, that's correct. I mean, your defense is playing spectacular. I told you guys when you got Jalen Phillips, you would love him. And the biggest, I think, benefactor has been Jalix Hunt. Jalix Hunt has clearly benefited from having Phillips on the other side. It's been spectacular. We'll get into the numbers here in a second. Now let's go to the other side, the horrible. I actually thought Jalen Hurts played pretty decent in the first half. I did. I thought he played pretty good. I thought he was hitting really some good receivers. I thought that, again, when you have Devontae Smith and you have A.J. Brown, you're expected to have a pretty good offense there. You're expected to sit there and have a great offense when you've got top 5 guys. By the way, I want to take a look at this. So you got 2 1,000. Explain this to me. You got 2 1,000-yard wide receivers. 2 1,000-yard wide receivers, and you can't fucking complete a pass in the second half of a football game. Is that right? 2 guys that go, by the way, this is the second game that's gone on. This is the second game this year where the quarterback can't complete a pass in the second half. Holy shit. Never seen anything like it. Says, how will Patullo and Sirianni rectify this offense? Because they won't win unless our defense magically wins 4 playoff games. Correct. That freaking offense is not going to. By the way, I loved it when I hear people in Philadelphia and I hear people on the radio saying, hey, you see those teams last night? I don't fear those teams. What if those teams ran you over? Chicago Bears kicked your shit in. They kicked your ass. Kicked your ass. Let me see something over here too as well. I want to make comparisons here because I see the glazed donut idiotic people here. So let me go here. Let's see here. Let's go to Buffalo Bills. So Shakir will have 700 yards this year. Kincaid will have 500. And then after that, you have 390 and 355. Josh Allen has 1 wide receiver with over 700 yards this year. Hurts has 2 over 1,000. And you can't complete a pass? How about that offensive juggernaut? Terrible. Worst in the league in the playoff teams. Josh Allen had a wide open receiver. He did miss him. Great players miss plays. Yeah. Who was he throwing to? What was the guy's name? I missed it. Guys, Hurts is not a complete player. He's a decent player. He's limited. You see it every game. Your offense is awful. Who threw them passes to the 1K yards? Well, then explain this to me. If you got those 2 1,000-yard receivers, how come you can't complete a pass in 2 ball games in the second half of 2 NFL games? Get this. Hurts beat Allen. Herbert beat Hurts twice, if you want to go that lane. If you want to go down that lane, Justin Herbert owns Jalen Hurts. I don't believe that. That's not how that dynamic works. And quite frankly, Dak Prescott owns the Eagles. Do you really believe that? I don't. I don't believe that. By the way, I'm not getting into this with you with Jalen Hurts versus Josh Allen. There is no comparison. Allen is a superior ball player. Now, to what happened in the ball game. Okay? Let's go to the numbers here in what happened in the game. And I understand what you guys are doing here. You don't want to get to what happened in the ball game where it was a one-sided football game. Your defense clearly won that game with your special teams. Plain and simple. Your offense had very limited things to do with that game and that win. Very limited. Your offense is limited. Your play caller is limited. The entire offense is limited. Here's what went on in this football game, and here are the numbers. The Buffalo Bills held that shitty offense of the Philadelphia Eagles to 11 first downs. Once again, atrocious on third down, 3 of 13. Okay? 54 plays they held that team to. Why? The massive 3 and outs. No question. Just a tremendous defensive effort by the Buffalo Bills on defense. 190 yards of total offense they held the Eagles to. 108 in passing and 82 in rushing. Where's Barkley? Where is Barkley? What happened to Barkley? Here are the sequences. Here's the second half of football. Third quarter, 5 plays, 13 yards. 3 plays, no yards. 3 plays, 2 yards. 3 plays, 4 yards. 3 plays, -2. End of ball game. Did you even have a first down in the second half? Wow. What a tremendous effort on defense. Just a tremendous effort. 73 plays they threw at that Eagle defense. It's a championship defense. You've got a Taysom Hill offense. It's like a wildcat offense who can't play 4 quarters of football. And that's been all year. Unless you're counting the shitty games you play in, like the Giant games or the Commander games or the Raider games. I mean, when you play against good football teams, you don't play 4 quarters. This will be your undoing in the playoffs. You're not going to rectify it. Now, here's the good news. Every single team in the NFC playoffs is flawed. Every one of them. Every single one of these football teams is either lacking experience, which I think is overrated. That comment of they've done it is overrated. I've seen too many young football teams, like I saw the Cowboys, when they played that Buffalo Bills team back in the day, when they went to 3 Super Bowls, and the Cowboys beat the piss out of them. More talent, plain and simple. Do you have more talent than the other football team? I think something has to, when it comes to coaching, has a lot to do with the experience when you're in these playoff games. The 49ers just might be the best coached football team in the postseason. You lose your quarterback for 8 games. Mac Jones comes in. Most of the time when you lose your quarterback for 8 games, your season's over. They got 12 wins with a shot to win the number 1 seed, the 49ers. That's a great job of coaching. I think Robert Saleh has done a marvelous job on the defensive side of the football. I mean, you lose Bosa, you lose Warner, you didn't have Ayuk. You had Kittle out a lot of the time. You lost Trent Williams last night. That's one whale of a coaching job. Tremendous coaching job. There's a lot of great coaching jobs this year in the NFL. Great coaching jobs. Unfortunately, one of those is not on the Eagle offensive side of the ball. Here's also the positive coming out of that game. The difference between the Philadelphia Eagles and a team like, say, the Bucks. Bucks can't win shitty games like that. They can't. They can't. Eagles can. That's a great win. You'll get a 4 quarters of football in the NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl game, 100 points in those 2 games. Hey, thanks for the super chat. That's the only thing worthy of what was written there. Thank you. Sills, does with the offense being drastically up and down, wouldn't that make the Eagles much scarier once other teams don't want the Eagles team is playing? Don't know what Eagle team is playing? I think you want consistency, my friend, like you did a year ago. Last year, you were a consistent football team and you ran teams over. Here's my trend. I see with your takes, you glaze donut quarterbacks who can't achieve anything outside the regular season, and you hate players who win. Are you jealous of winners? No, I'm talking about a guy who's been carried. Bro, stop saying that shit. Are really glazed quarterbacks who haven't done anything? Bro, he's a better ball player. Like Myles Garrett is a better ball player on a shitty team. It happens. Just because Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl MVP doesn't make him a superstar player. It's overrated. That's an overrated. It's like winning the Heisman. It's overrated. How is he a great is he a great quarterback? No. Is he a good quarterback? Yes. I've been consistent. Kyle Shanahan, coach of the year. He's one of them. Liam Cohn, Vrabel, Ben Johnson's done a spectacular job with Caleb Williams. Okay? See here, watch this. Congratulations, you beat a shitty Bills team. I never said they were shitty. I never said that. I said just 2 seconds ago, but you only want to hear 2% of what I'm saying, that's a great win, going to Orchard Park and winning. I never said that. I never said that. Made up fake news bullshit. Never said that. Okay? Excellent coaching job in San Francisco. Excellent. If Allen had Hurts' team, he'd be as achieved as Hurts, which makes him fucking Hurts. Yeah, right. Well, one day when you let me know when Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen's not completing no passes in a game. You say Hurts needed to be carried. Okay, maybe the reason the other elite quarterbacks haven't won anything is because they need to be carried more. Yeah, you're right. They need to be carried more. Joe Burrow needs a defense. Allen needs a couple more weapons. Bro, not excuses. Are you trying to tell me you think everybody's on equal footing? Here, let me ask a question here for this. Do you think every quarterback in the NFL is on equal footing like Jalen Hurts is? Yes or no? And is that a quarterback's fault where he's drafted? Do you think that Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and those guys are on equal footing and they have the same talent of players on those teams that Josh Allen has or Jalen Hurts has? Do you really think that? If the Bills kick the extra point, went into overtime, we lose, our defense was gassed. I don't mind the play. I don't mind him going for it there. I thought it was a lot of cannolis, but I didn't have a problem with that. He's getting killed in Buffalo right now because of that decision. I happen to agree with the decision. Dan, you said it last night. We went conservative, run pass, negative yards. Next run pass. That's right, negative yards. How about mixing the things up a little bit and throwing a little bit? Absolutely true. They went conservative, man. You honey, super glaze, Dak, they're better passers. And Allen, dude, they're better passers. Those guys are never going to go into a football game and not completing passes in the second half. It's never going to happen. They ain't done shit. Bro, how many fucking times do I have to tell you? Hurts is the benefactor of being on a great team. Look at the defense. That was a defensive effort. Dude, why are you talking about Jalen Hurts today? He sucked. You should be raving about that wonderful defense of yours. Why are you defending a guy for the second game this year, didn't complete a pass in the second half? Why are you defending that? Why are you defending that? You should be talking about that spectacular effort they put out there. Explain why Hurts had 0 passes in the second half. Because, one, the play calling stunk. Listen, we've gone all over all this. The play caller's bad. He doesn't fit the guy. I saw Allen completing passes. Like Jeff McClain said, there were wide open plays. This has nothing to do with 25. Get this. I love reading these comments. If Allen is so elite, he should have been able to score 13 points, right? No. Every game has its own makeup. Sometimes you're going to score 45 points. Sometimes you're going to score 10. No. These are again, I get it. I'm not mad at you. You're just fans. What would you fucking know? Honestly. I say that because I never hear people say, well, if Marino was San Francisco, he'd be better than Montana. Same if Manning had Belichick. But that's not reality. It's not. Reality is when you're a bad player, you're drafted to bad places. You're just drafted to places. Okay? And if Hurts is such an elite player, he should be able to complete a pass. No. Get more than one first down. No. Dude, why are you not talking about your defense? Why are you guys not talking about the stars of the game? Corporate pump. Eagles moved 9-0 this year when Hurts throws for less than 200 yards. Sills, he's freaking elite. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, we know he's just going along for the ride. It's not Jalen's fault he didn't hold his team hostage to get paid. Holding a team hostage to get paid? Nobody held anybody hostage. They offered it up to him and gave it to him. Dude, your quarterback is limited. Stop it. Hey, Marsh, why aren't you talking about your great defense? Why? 2 games this year where that guy didn't complete a pass. And 4 quarters of football, he didn't complete a pass. I mean, have you ever heard such a thing? 4 quarters of football. 4 quarters. 2 halves, 2 quarters in Buffalo, and 2 quarters in Tampa. A full football game, he didn't complete a pass. You got to be kidding me. Holy cow. Xander, if I missed any supers, please throw them up there. I may have. So who's limited the offense? The quarterback. Defense will burn out in the playoffs. Nick's conservative philosophy is why they can't put teams away when they're capable of doing it. One and done. I think you're one and done too. But then again, I think it all comes down to matchup. And I think who has the momentum. You really think Philadelphia has momentum right now? You have momentum defensively. Sills, I liked it when Carter literally head slapped the Bills guard. I thought he played really well. Again, I want to talk about good things. Jalen Phillips, Cooper DeJean, Zach Bond, the entire front seven. Those guys, I'll give you another one. I thought John Campbell played well. There was some great football plays on that side of the football. Offensively, Cam Jurgens, how he made the Pro Bowl is mind-numbing. He is maybe the worst center in the playoffs. He's terrible. Dual threat. Hurts season, baby. There you go. You can't play conservative in the playoffs. They did. They went conservative. That was Nick, in my opinion. You guys are blaming the wrong guy. Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo is limited from Nick. He's limited. Nick gives them the direction of where to go in game. That's a Nick Sirianni issue. It's not a Kevin Patullo. Does Kevin Patullo know what he's doing in game? No. So you take half the playbook, or maybe even 75% of the playbook away from a first-year play caller. I think Kevin Patullo has got the toughest job in the building. You got a head coach telling him what to do and what to call and what philosophy to have. And you've got about 25% of the playbook. That's why it looks so freaking limited. I mean, that was Nick. Nick saw the defense. Nick is limited. He's not a creative play calling guy. You tell me that was creative play calling in the game. It's conservative play calling because you know what he's doing? He's relying on his star players with zero creativity. What am I saying? Nick Sirianni makes the games harder for his players. They win in spite of him. Do you not agree? When you go conservative like that and you shut your freaking offense down the way you did, you make it harder on your team to win games. Nick Sirianni, that team wins in spite of him because of the great talent you have on the team. They win in spite of him. You shut your football team down in the second half. You know why? Because he's limited. Because he doesn't trust the quarterback. That's not a Jalen Hurts thing. That's a Nick thing. If the Eagles win the Super Bowl again this year, they will put Hurts in the Hall of Fame. You see AJ death staring Sirianni in the tunnel? Yeah, because he was being a douchebag in the tunnel as usual. I mean, where was Big Don when you needed him? Dude, you know what? I get it. Probably a lot of people like it. You act like you've been there, man. You're the defending champion. You sure don't act like it. Not the team, him. I think he's a hairy high school guy. They shut your second half down because Nick didn't. There's no creativity. That's the head coach. That's not Kevin Petullo. I'm not speaking on my defense because you was the only one saying it was a blowtorch Timo. Yeah, no. Well, wait a minute. Did they not make 9 different trades? They went and got Jalen Phillips during the year at the trading deadline. They went and got more corners. They went and got more players. They made 9 different trades during the season, dude. It was off-season blowtorch. I didn't speak false. I wasn't wrong. All the bullshit you did in the offseason was awful. You made up for it during the season. There was nothing that was not true. That trade with Oakland was a train wreck. Those Aziz Ojalaras and Uches and all them guys, they were bums. Those guys were bums. The Keely Ringos and the Sidney Browns, they were bums. Those are facts. Not one of those guys are starting or playing now. Bums. So when you say that, my friend, every one of those players they thought were going to play doesn't play anymore. In fact, KP is a first-time play caller with an overrated head coach and quarterback. The shame of it is he will be fired before those 2 bums. Kevin Petullo is the only guy who gets a pass. Listen, Kevin Petullo is not going to get a pass. Nick's going to get the pass. Okay? Nick shut down that second half. That was on Nick. Okay? I mean, right? Kevin Petullo will be fired. No, I don't think they'll fire him. Riot, I don't think they'll fire him. I don't. I don't think they will, especially if they go far. But they shut the second half. They just went like this. How about when they ran it on 3rd and 8, right up the middle, zone blocking? You're like this. Oh, by the way, remember all you guys told me? I made the prediction Jalen Hunt would have more sacks than Nolan Smith to be a better ball player by the end of the year. That's a fact. Hi, Sills. 3 passes and a half were stolen. Okay. 3 passes. Sills, Jalen is really coming on while Nolan Smith is disappearing. Yeah, everyone was glazed donating and saying that Nolan Smith would make $25 million. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, let me see it. He's not a 17 game football player. Never will be, never was. As a matter of fact, you can make the comments that the 30th pick in the draft has been a disappointment so far. Well, still, he was good last year. He was good last year in spots. He had a nice run. Where's he been when you had to up the volume of plays for him? You know, it's funny. Every time I try to tell people this, just because you increase the workload doesn't mean that player is going to give you output. Some people are specialized pass rushers and specialized players. You give them higher volume, sometimes production goes down. Okay? You also said, well, Milton Williams is on the number 1 seed New England Patriots right now. So he's doing okay too. Moro Jomo? Well, okay. Congratulations to you, Gabe. You're going to let him walk out the building too. Let me get back to work. Happy holidays, Sills. Good. Marsh, thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you, man. You know that. Big Sills, I know the weather conditions in upstate New York were terrible yesterday, but can you honestly see the Bills standing a chance against Philadelphia on a neutral field in February? Yeah, it went down to one play. It went down to one play, dude. As long as Nick has that sign with the 43-2 record when the turnover battle's won, this will never change. Team should be sponsored by aspirin. Never change. Never change. Never change. Dude, the defensive football team was sensational. Sensational. Jalen Phillips has been everything you wanted. Hurries yesterday, I thought he was in that backfield the entire time. I thought he was the star of the front four. I thought Carter was really good, but Phillips was the star of that front, in my opinion. More hurries than any D lineman in the league on Sunday was that guy. He was tremendous. Dirt, a new movie coming out. When you needed him most, he threw a pass in the dirt, starring Josh Allen, produced by Dan Sileo 2026. As long as you put that MVP trophy next to him, it's all good. Says, I think you're gonna going. Yes. The offensive tackle from the University of Miami. He's gonna probably be the 7th player taken. Seals, do you respect Sirianni for taking bullets for Patullo? Vic is the Buddy Ryan of the 1985 Bears. No. Patullo, okay, at the end of the day, is being criticized because of Nick's philosophy. Dude, it's like somebody giving you a book and the author takes half the book away from you and you don't know the story. How will you ever know what the story is because the author takes all the pages away? Big Sills, Niners and Bears. Who comes out of the NFC? We'll do that in a bit. I promise, Anthony. Okay? So let me get back to this here. Let's go to the numbers here. Hurts, 13 of 27, 110 yards passing, and a 38 quarterback rating. Okay. I mean, Barkley, here's the 18th week. Where's Barkley? Where's Barkley? 18 weeks. I've asked the same question. Where's Barkley? O-line, play calling. Funny. All of that last year was not one issue. Okay? Where's Barkley? You take that 16-yard run away, this guy had like 50-some yards rushing. Hurts has also bought into Nick's philosophy. Yeah, they shut it down. He was cool with it. Okay? Howie, T.Y. for Huff paying half and higher pick back and getting a higher pick back for him. Yes. He gets a third-round pick from the Jets for Howie sending him to New York. When he sent Huff to New York, and that third-round pick will be in the 2026 draft for the New York Jets. That's correct. Okay? And the Dolphins got the original Eagle pick. Yes. Seals, the problem with Barkley is this O-line. Is they don't run to the edge. And your center's terrible. Your center's the worst. He's getting killed. I saw a guy do a swim move on him in the middle of the field. And he's and let me ask you this one too. The Bills had the 30th ranked rushing defense. What's your excuse? No, I think we hit it, my friend. If we missed it, we'll hit it, I promise. You had the 30th ranked run defense in front of you. What happened? Seals, is the Bears game an outlier game since the Bills didn't duplicate that? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yes, I do. I do. 281? Yeah. I thought the Bills did run. Let me see what they ran for. I thought the Bills did run for 100 and what was it? They ran for 100 and that's not terrible. 120 yards and 70 plays. That's not really all that much. On 73 plays, what was the yards per carry in that? 3.6. Yeah, they held them under 4. You held the team under 4 yards per carry, you're doing your gig. 73 plays is a lot. Okay? 120 yards rushing on 73 plays offensively. That's not a lot. Okay? That's not. But again, you got to remember, these numbers are going to be a little bit jaded because they had so many opportunities. You know, why did they have so many opportunities? Because the Philadelphia Eagle offense was 3 and out the entire day. They were just terrible. Sills, can't understand why everyone needs more but Eagle players. We have it all, unlike all of the poor blinded legless teams we beat. I'm not sure what that means, man. Sills, Allen looked like a lost puppy for 3 quarters. Vic schooled Brady. Yes. Thought they did a great job. Pressure was everywhere, and I think that last pass had a lot to do with the pressure that he had. The deep ball to Shavers hit the floor. I thought that one they called non-catch for Devontae. I thought that was a catch. I thought they jobbed him in that one. I thought that was a catch. Yeah, I mean, look, defense was great. The defense was fantastic. Now I'll say this. Now we'll go to Hurts. Give me a grade on what you think Jalen Hurts and how he played in this game. By the way, 60 minutes of football. If you want to pick and cherry pick 60 minutes of football, how'd he play? Okay, I'll tell you how I think he played. I think he was really good in the first half. I even tweeted that out on X. I thought he was good in the first half. I mean, I thought they were moving the ball around. I thought there were signs of the run game. I thought everything in that football game, I thought he was doing, I thought he outplayed everybody. And offensively, he was the best player the Eagles had. I thought AJ made some nice catches. I thought the offense was blocking well. I mean, they were moving the chains. Yeah, no turnovers. I mean, they were doing their job. They go into halftime, they come out. And for whatever reason, they shut the lights off. Guys couldn't catch passes. Hurts is overthrowing. Hurts in the pocket was getting pressured. He was looking immediately like to the sidelines. He was rolling right the entire game. I won't give him a C-. I'll give him I thought he was average. I thought the offense was F. Because you got to play 60 minutes of football to win championships. 60 minutes. And I thought, again, if you're going to win a Super Bowl again, see, Jalen Hurts didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to play and be good because you had two guys that were great a year ago. You had Barkley that was great. Barkley's not great this year. I mean, every single time I watch a football game, I see a better back every single time the Eagles play almost. Shit, you could make the argument DeAndre Swift is having a better year than what Saquon Barkley's having. McCaffrey's having a better year. The guy in Detroit had a better year. I mean, there's so many running backs. The guy in Atlanta's better. Saquon Barkley has been average. What's he averaging around? 60 yards a game? If that? Where is he now? On the season. He's been completely average. 3.6 a carry. 2024 beat the shit out of him. And by the way, if he doesn't have a really good... By the way, here's something for Saquon. Saquon, 1,211 yards he's on pace for. That's if he plays in the final game of the year with 7 touchdowns. Thanks, Steve. 1,200 yards rushing. Okay, with 4.1 yards. That's not bad. That's an average NFL 60 yards a game is average in my book. Whole NFL knows they can't adjust right at halftime. Okay? I missed the Super, Xander. This one here, I believe it is. Sills, could you and Xander do your own all-pro list one day this week? Appreciate the show. Yeah, I think we could do that. Absolutely. Where is Saquon this year? Saquon Barkley. What's he averaging? What's he averaging per game this year? Let me take a look at that. There's no way he's averaging 70 yards a game. No way he's averaging that. Yeah, last year beat him up, beat the O-line up. They're just not a very good running attack. If you can't run the ball, you're not winning. So he is averaging 70 yards. He's averaging 70 yards a game. Well, this is who he is. Watch. 71. Last year, he averaged 125 yards. Now, here's what he is. 71, 68-7, 80, 50, 77, and 81. This is who Saquon Barkley is. What you're watching right now is what Barkley is. Last year was an outlier year. He'll never do that again. Okay? Somebody in a seance must have told you that. You can't stop nobody on defense. You're not winning. Correct. So yeah, 71-2. That's who he is. Yo, Dan, you fraud. You sound exactly like you did last year. I know the Eagles aren't. No. Last year I said after Baltimore, you can win it. Now I haven't. You're going into the last week of the year. I'm not sold you're winning it. I don't know who's winning it out of the NFC. By the way, I also sounded the same way in 23 when you guys are telling me you're Super Bowl winners. We're going to find out who's right and who's wrong. We're going to see if your offense can win 4 games playing like that they did yesterday. Because you're not going to change any other way. You've played the entire year like this. We're going to find out. If you change the norm again, last year you ran the ball down people's throats. This year, you can't play 4 quarters of football offensively to save your life. We're going to find out. Okay? We'll find out. If you can go into a football game this year where at the end of the day, if you can keep playing like that and win a Super Bowl, give the defense some rest. 73. Get this. I'll show you something here too. Let me put this out there to you. If you go into a football game in the playoffs and you allow a team 73 plays, and then you get into another football game and you allow another 73, you'll get shut out that next game. You're going to ask your football team to play 150 plays? I want to see it. You'll be looking like the Chip Kelly defenses back in the day. Average game is 60 to 63 plays. You start getting higher up in that number, injuries, then it becomes a Chip Kelly defense. Okay? And you're not exceptionally deep at certain places like corner and safety. Okay? Hi, Sills. Hurts played well, did what the coaches asked him to do. This is a perfect storm. All are healthy entering the playoffs. Defense wins championships. Okay, I'll buy that. Christian McCaffrey has 399 touches this season. Pure greatness. Yeah, this will be the 3rd time in his NFL career he's gone over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. He's a spectacular player. 3rd time that he's gone over 2K in total yards. I think the number is, he's 4 catches away from 100, and he's 110 away from going, for the 2nd time, 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. Spectacular football player. He's a weapon. Sills, Chiefs struggled to repeat too. It's not easy. That's why there's, I think, only been 9 repeat champions. Oh, I agree with this. Dude, the completely texture of the game changed with the Allen turnover. I thought it was an incomplete pass, but I could see where you thought the other way. Kind of came out of his hands. So I didn't really have a problem if it was either way. So when they said it was a turnover, so be it. You can make the call. I thought it was close. I thought the one that, like I said, I thought the Devontae Smith, I also happen to think that I can't remember what Eagle receiver got called for. A Buffalo Bill receiver down the right sideline. I thought he was offensive pass interference, and they called it on Philly. Either Mitchell or I can't remember who they called it on. I thought that was offensive pass interference. So I thought there were a couple plays that kind of made up for it, where the referees have been absolutely brutal this year. Okay? Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize that the tuck rule had been taken out in 2013. I thought it was a tuck rule because it looked like to me like the tuck, because that's what Brady did in that Raider game. And it looked like exactly the same play. Yeah, I didn't think that was pass interference on Mitchell. I thought it was more pass interference on the I think it was Cooks. I thought because he was pushing him in the face, and I thought it was more on the receiver than it was on Quinyon Mitchell. I thought that was home cooking a little bit there. Turnovers are generally worse for field position, but 3 and outs are brutal along with sacks. Absolutely. 3 and outs and sacks. Not good. That's not where you want to be. Yeah, listen, I thought Jalen, in the second half, I think, get this, I'll say this to you guys, and I'll go here with this. I think it was more to do with how they shut the entire offense down on why you didn't have any completed passes, more so than Hurts having drops and such. Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo just shut that offense down, completely shut it down. And, Xander asked me something interesting. He goes like this. He said, Sills, do you think maybe, they're wanting to be vanilla till they get to the playoffs? You haven't played well enough this year to hide things. You haven't been consistent in one ball game that mattered. I don't think you've played well offensively all year. Seals, you had to take a quarterback today, Purdy or Hurts. Purdy's hotter right now. Purdy's got a better play caller. I think that all factors. Purdy's playing great ball right now. He's got a better coaching staff. Purdy gets into a position better because the offensive coordinator knows what he's doing. How about this? If Jalen Hurts, let's flip this. If Jalen Hurts had Brock Purdy as Kyle Shanahan, and you gave Hurts Kyle Shanahan, and I gave Brock Purdy Kevin Patullo, do you think those roles would change too? Brock Purdy with Kevin Patullo as his coordinator. Jalen Hurts with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan would be putting Jalen Hurts in position. Okay? He would be putting, get this, you see this right here? That's all Shanahan. So RC believes plays win games over players. There lies some of the issues that he has with his takes. RC believes that plays win games, not players. Okay? He thinks if you draw a play up and you go and you write a stop and go and you put it on a piece of paper, that's more important than player execution. That's what he's telling you here. That's all Shanahan. All Shanahan. No player execution. Again, the more you guys talk sometimes, the more you expose your ignorance on the game. Players over plays all the time. Even your coordinator says that, Vic Fangio. Okay? Get this. Facts. Everyone in the NFL is elite. So, under another fucking dumb take, this guy thinks that Keely Ringo is in the same talent level as a Patrick Surtain. He's elite. So he and Patrick Surtain are the same player. Again, every time a guy like this opens his stupid fucking mouth, he shows you how dumb he is. I mean, it's mind-numbing. You indict yourselves. Well, Shanahan could take a below-average quarterback and make him above average. Look what he did with Mac Jones. Well, how do you know Mac Jones is below average? How do you know Mac Jones wasn't in a shitty Jets organization? Name me the quarterback in the New York Jets since Joe Namath that they've developed. That was 1969. That's the last time a guy was on the moon. Show me a quarterback the New York Jets have developed since that they drafted. Name me one guy. Yeah, Bill Belichick is no OC. Oh, by the way, Sam Darnold's a great example of it. Sam Darnold's 27-6 with better coaching. That guy Mike McDonald up in Seattle, that's a great coaching job. Okay? No shit, douchebag. Really? Wow. No shit, douchebags. Belichick was the OC. They bring in Josh McDaniels for Drake May. No shit. Who in the fuck is talking of... Dude, Mac Jones played in New England. I get it. I'm talking about poor coaching. He had Belichick as his OC in New England. Follow along. Sills, Dave wants that even said on the show. Schemes don't fail, players do. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So I don't think Jalen Hurts, that was on Jalen Hurts in that second half. I think that's all on Nick. That's on Nick and his philosophy. I think the two guys that are getting beat up this year in Philadelphia are Jalen Hurts and Kevin Patullo because of Nick. They're taking complete... Would we not say this? Who's been the best hire? Who's been a better hire? Let me ask you this. Who's been a better hire? Nick Sirianni or Vic Fangio? Who's been a better hire by the organization? Vic or Nick? If you had to get rid of one of those guys, who would you get rid of? You get rid of Nick and his win percentage. Who's more responsible the last 2 years for the winning in Philly, Vic or Nick? No. Try not to be a Democrat and vote for both. Try to be somebody who has conviction. Who has been more responsible for the Eagles winning, Nick or Vic? Last year outside of Barkley, there were lots of questions about the O going into the playoffs. And then they let it loose. These coaches still struggle on how to use Hurts. Let's see what happens. I'm more in agreement with that than anything because I agree with Xander on this. I don't really look at any of those teams outside of the Rams and go like this. Shit. I mean, the Rams, if the winner of the Rams and Eagle game will win the Super Bowl. Do we agree on that at least? Do we agree on that? Hey, Big Z, make sure you send, I forgot to text you, bro. If you can, I need to send Gary Cobb a link. So if we're good there, man, let me send him a link there. Okay? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I don't remember sending it to you. I may have. Yes, sir. Thank you, Z. Xander will join us at 3:30. We'll get his views on if anything has changed over over the 24 hours here. I don't really think that there's anybody like in the NFC where I go, hey man, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want that. And I heard John McMullen say, I'll play the Rams in the opener, get it out of the way. I'd rather play in the NFC title game. You never know what happens. Somebody could get hurt. Somebody's underperforming. Let's get into the playoffs. Matthew Stafford's 30. Get this. Matthew Stafford's 37 years old. I don't want him in the first playoff game. I want him in the fourth one. Don't you? I'd rather have Stafford in the fourth playoff game or the third playoff game. Let's see. Wild card, divisional, NFC title, fourth is a Super Bowl. I'd rather have Stafford in the third one. Give me the younger Hurts over the older guy. Let him have to play 12 quarters. No, because Rams don't scare us like you want them to. Sorry, Sills. We own the Rams. Actually, they outplayed your asses this year. By far. Outplayed. Bro, you ain't scaring the Rams. The Rams ain't afraid of you either. And that chicken shit offense of yours? Come on, man. That 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I'm going to start calling it the Marshall. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Like Woody Hayes coaching, like Woody Hayes coaching. Could it really be Nick? Look how Shanahan has done with Mack and Purdy, as well as LaFleur with Love and Willis, and now Ben Johnson and Caleb. Oh, that's right. Well, those are good coaches. Those are actually good coaches when it comes to developing quarterbacks. Here, let me ask you this. That's actually a great topic. How do you guys, Sills, potential, who could replace AJ in the draft? I'll write that down for you, Kyle. I appreciate that. Thank you, bro. So let's ask you this question. How do you think Ben Johnson has done in developing of Caleb Williams this year? Give me a grade. Give me a grade. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. What would be that grade? Where are they right now? How many games have they won? By the way, that was a hell of a ball game. They're 11-5 right now. A-, solid A. Okay. B+, I'll take all those. Those are good. How do you think Liam Cohn has done developing Trevor Lawrence this year? Let's take a look at Trevor. What's Trevor done? Where's Trevor? Let's go here. Trevor Lawrence. Let's see the kind of year Trevor's having. Let's go down here. Trevor Lawrence. Let's see. Trevor Lawrence. He's going to throw for this year. He's going to throw for $4,000 and 28 touchdowns. How good do you think he's done? Okay. How good? Hey, Xander, I missed that Pauly super chat. If we can get to that. How good do you think? B+? B? Okay. The Rams might be better, but in that game earlier this year, it's not like they didn't choke in this. They did. They got conservative. They went Nick Sirianni in the second half. I agree. Thank you, Paulie. How do you believe that Nick Sirianni's coaching staff has developed Jalen Hurts since Nick's been the head coach? As a quarterback, not the team winning because of all the great talent, which is cool. By the way, I think that's awesome that you have so many good players. So wait a minute. Let me get this here. So give me a grade on how you think the coaching staff has developed Jalen. What would be that grade? C-, F, C? C minus, D, F minus. Don't forget Shane with Rivers and Danny Dimes. Okay? Well, when you get a good coach that can develop a quarterback, look at the results. Mac Jones, Sam Darnold. Look at the guys around the league. And Jalen Hurts has not been, as a matter of fact, you could make the argument, and here I got them written down. So here's Jalen Hurts' 2025 season. You tell me what you think of it. He's 15th in passing attempts. He's 17th in completions. He's 18th in completion percentage. It's his lowest in 4 years, 64.8. He's 14th in passing yards. He's 7th in TDs, which is great. And he's 20th in QBR. How well do you think he's played this year? Or the Bigsby carries. Guys averaging 6.2 a carry. Crazy, isn't it? Thank you for the super. Bill's going for 2 in the end of the game. Do you agree there? I think so. I think so. I know some people would say, Sills, kick it, get in an OT, you win it in OT because the Eagle defense had played 73 plays. There's a philosophy there where I agree with that. So get this. This guy thinks that this is a B-plus year for Jalen. He's middle of the league in attempts. He's 17th in completions. It's his lowest completion percentage in 4 years. He's 18th in that. He's 14th in passing yards. He's 7th in TDs, which is great. And he's 20th in quarterback rating. And he says that that's a B+. Okay? When they stack the box for Allen, like Philly has for their quarterbacks, then Josh Allen will be really good. Okay? I think Josh in the second half was much better because I think they did a lot of quick snaps to keep the same personnel on the field. 24-6, 2 interceptions, 3,100 yards passing. Okay? That's not elite to me. This scheme doesn't fit Hurts. He was drafted to fit Doug's RPO. Shane and Kellen were able to get the most out of him because they're real coaches. Correct. If Hurts had Allen's legs, he'd be Randall Cunningham. I think if he just had his own wheels and was able to run more. How many yards did he run for in that game? I think in the first half he ran a little more, right? Second half, they just shut that thing down, dude. They just completely shut that offense down. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter shut down James Cook. They still had 120 yards rushing, but on 73 plays at 3.6, I agree. Okay? Seals, where do you rank this season from 21 on? Probably third best. Seals, if the Eagles were to magically replace Hurts, don't we have the same problem? This coaching staff would find ways. I actually think Nick Sirianni would be better because if he found a passing quarterback, like somebody like the skill set of Phillip Rivers, his greatest year he ever had was under Nick Sirianni and Frank Reich. Under Sirianni, Hurts is a B+. Yes, I agree. Nick is stunting Hurts' growth, and he's treating him and the offense like it's his kid with Down syndrome. I don't know about that, but I think the only reason that you would give Jalen Hurts a B+ is because Jalen Hurts, he wins in spite of Nick. Jalen is at the top in wins. That's That's a team accomplishment, not a quarterback accomplishment. But if you want to go down there with that, as a fan, go right ahead. Me as a player, that's a team accomplishment. That's not a Jalen Hurts accomplishment. They did well. They were getting worn down in the fourth. Yeah, but man, yeah, they were. 70 snaps is a shitload in the rain like that, in poor weather. What's the weakest part of this outstanding defense? I'll tell you what, I came away with that game really impressed with the defense. But if I had to pick, I think it's in the middle of the field. You don't have the same play at safety. And I think you're a little weak at that one corner. But other than, he's covering it. I think the linebacker play has covered the shitty safety play. You know, Reed's actually showing up more over the last month. You actually see Reed showing up. Cooper DeJean, how many people in here remember me saying, and you guys thought I was full of shit? Xander, do you remember me saying this? Cooper DeJean's going to be better than Quinyon Mitchell. And he is. He's a better player. He's a better tackler. He can cover backs, tight ends. He's just a better player. I mean, his open field tackling is as good as I've ever seen. I mean, as like his tracking, his pursuit angles, he plays with great space. His ability to track, he's really, how that guy went in the second round is only because he's white. That guy is a top 10 football player. I mean, he might be the best nickel corner in the league. Rain, sleet, snow, bird train to go down. Let this glazed donut push narrative. Both offense had atrocious half playoff football, hurt horrible, but Allen, great. SMH. Thanks for the super chat. Tom Brady thinks that Hurts is elite. Is he wrong? He does nothing remotely close to what Brady does. Nothing. Zero. You ever remember Tom Brady never completing a pass? Epps played well. Okay? Epps played well. You know, it's a difference of cornerback and slot. Really? Thanks. Q took over as lockdown while Slay's still starting and saying, great, he played the all-pro Q. I think he is all-pro. Coop is, wait a minute. Wins like Brady? Who was Tom Brady throwing the football to? Gronk and who to win Super Bowls? Gronk and who? Amendola? Edelman? He was winning Super Bowls with Jahan Dotson. And guys like Jahan Dotson. Okay, Gronk and Hernandez. I said wide receivers. Outside of Gronk, Deion Branch, Troy Brown, Amendola, Edelman. In New England, that is. Edelman and Welker are Pro Bowlers. And when they went other places, Welker had to go to Manning. Edelman was nobody. Once again, Edelman will never see the inside of a Hall of Fame unless he pays for it. AJ had 3,000 yards in his first 3 seasons with the Titans, had 4 and 3 with us. You're a hater. Well, those are the primary targets. Let me see something here. Let me show you something too. to put into context how easy your offense is to figure out. By the way, I said it. I want to make sure we emphasize it. It's a great win. Let's see here. Eagles. Let's see. Wide receivers. How many wide receiving on how predictable you are? Let's see. Wide receiver 3. Dotson's got 15 catches. Cooper's got 6. That's 21. Mitchie had 4. He's gone. And Gibson has 2. Your third wide receiver, with all that in 15 games, has 26 catches combined with all the players that you had in there. When you come to Philadelphia, either the Y or Z are going to get it. Nobody else gets the football. You don't spread the ball around. You go to 2 dudes. Other quarterbacks go to 9 different targets. Like I said about Allen. Allen doesn't have a guy on that. He's got one guy with 700 yards on that team, and the rest of them all have 300 yards receiving. You got 2 guys with 1,000. They get the majority of they get almost 90% of the targets. Pretty easy to figure out. That's why your offense gets stagnant in the second half. It's not that hard to figure out. Those players that you have, they're elite players. And that's why they beat suspect secondary guys. But you don't spread the ball around. The guy's too short to see the third wideout going across the middle of the field in the seam. That's why you don't throw seam passes. He's too short. Special teams was exceptional. Exceptional. Okay? Those 2 dudes didn't have their best games yesterday. Smitty and AJ with drops. Fair enough. That's true too. Okay? They did. There were drops in that ball game. Goddard has to be resigned. His injuries is not from age. You going to sign him? Bring him back? How are you going to do that when you made him take a $5 million pay cut? How are you going to make up for that? You're going to pay him $20 million? Hey, Dallas, we'd like to pay you what we paid you last year. Fuck you. I'm not, what? You want to give me the money that you took away from me after a Super Bowl year? No, thank you. You made me take a $5 million pay cut. Now you want to give it back to me in money that I actually earned? You better come up with a bigger salary. I'm going to Kansas City. Brady and Theismann both wrong about Hurts. Hey, again, use your eyeballs, dude. Those guys don't watch the game like you do. I don't ever remember Theismann and Brady never completing a pass in a game. What's he, Bryson? What's that guy, that Army guy? Gonna have to pay him. They don't have a backup. Calcaterra isn't it. Wait a minute. You're going to have to pay up for what you cost him last year. What are you going to pay him? Well, you took his money away? You're going to give him a $5 million raise? Fuck, that's what you took away from him a year ago. Seals, do you think some of the pass concepts that they showed in the first half are the next levels of the playbook and they don't use often with Hurts due to limitations in throwing with anticipation? Correct. He doesn't throw with anticipation. He throws to the open guy. This guy's he doesn't have trust in his arm to throw those anticipation throws. He's not an anticipation thrower. Aaron Rodgers, Brady, Manning, those guys throw to spots. Hurts throws to open dudes. That's why they're all sideline passes. If you took his passing chart for yesterday's game, 95% of them were all to the sidelines. All sideline passes. for a reason. He struggles to see across the middle of the field because of his limitations, not only in his arm talent, but his height. That's why I told you. Not me, man. I take quarterbacks 6'2" and up. I got to have a guy see over the line of scrimmage. Trainer, Dallas ain't coming back. He had a great year. We're lowballing him. Yes. Just like you'll probably lowball Moro Jomo. Who's more important to keep, Moro Jomo or Jalen Phillips? Who are you going to pay? You got Carter there, too, you're going to have to pay. Someone goes. Who's going? Jomo, Phillips, or Carter? Or are you going to start taking money away from the offense? Remember, you got to deal within a cap. And for somebody like Jalen Phillips has earned $25 million and up. Like Jalen Phillips, I mean, he's going to look at the Milton Williams contract, $26 million. And if the Eagles aren't closer to 30, then he'll leave. I mean, why would you stay? When I could get $35 or $32 million on the open market, why would I stay? Because it's Philly? Screw that. He's got Drew Rosenhaus as his agent, who held Jalen Carter out of football games this year. What do you think he's going to do? I know Drew Rosenhaus. Yeah, take less. I don't ever remember those words coming out of Rosenhaus. Hey, let's take less. I've never seen that. Seals, do you think McDermott should have went for the extra point at the end? The Eagles offense didn't do shit the whole entire second half. I thought he did us a favor there. I see both ends. He went for the win. I get it. He's getting killed up there in Buffalo right now. He is. He's getting killed. Okay? He is. He's getting killed. Okay? Okay? He's getting killed. Seals, I won't be surprised if AJ's money goes to Goddard or Phillips. That's a big decision to be made, dude. Moving off of AJ. Okay? Seals, honestly, Allen has Shakir, who's not bad, 100%. Cook still has a bit. And 3 solid tight ends. And James Cook, he's not empty like Pumper's meat. Listen, they've got a good team. It ain't like the Eagle guys, though. Okay? And it's not like the Eagle guys. All right? I mean, Eagles got a great collection of guys. Great collection. Allen has a bad foot, no need for him to play. And that's why I think they did that. That's a great take. Dylan, that's a great take. I think because of because I think he had an X-ray today. All these guys are playing through everything. Hurts is hurt. Allen's hurt. Everyone's playing injured right now. It's week 18, dude. It's the NFL. Everyone's banged up. Sills, any thoughts on Rosenhaus? Is Carter's agent? So you think the NFL made Carter a Pro Bowler to help his agent out? Got to be influenced the NFL. Do you think he influences them? Carter got a reputation pick, but I mean, I thought he's been up and down this year. I thought he's been very disappointing. I do, but he played really well in that game. I thought he was really good. Yeah, you know what? Max Crosby, in my opinion, I wouldn't doubt it if you see him in a place like the Jets, maybe Tampa Bay. Potentially Miami. I could see him there. I could see him in Chicago. Okay. I mean, Max Crosby. That, to me, in my opinion, I think he's played his last down in Las Vegas. Maybe next year the Bills can negotiate for AJ, depending on how this season ends up. AJ Brown, did he think he looked comfortable up there? Now, again, it's a dome next year, isn't it? They're not playing outside next year. I think that'll attract more players up there now because they're going to play in a dome. I didn't think about that. You're not going to be playing outside in Buffalo any longer. You're going to be playing indoors. You think so? Or wait, I'm getting old. Yeah, I thought I saw somebody say AJ's going to get paid. I don't know about that. I don't know he's going to get paid. I don't know that. Okay. I don't. Depends on how much Phillips is, and maybe Max isn't the expense. Dude, he's a $30 million guy. He's like 32, 31 million. The upper deck is covered to block the wind out. Okay, so it's not going to be a full. I thought it was going to be a dome. So this is the same coaching staff that calls plays as Goddard as a lead blocker. I think Goddard is. I think he's going to be a free agent gem for a team that throws the ball with high volume. Like, listen, Dallas would be a great fit for him. It'd be a great fit because they're high volume. Rams are high volume. That depends who the quarterback in Los Angeles is going to be. The Chargers would be a great place for a guy like Dallas Goedert. Now, depending on what Hurts may go to management and say, hang on here. Hang on here. By the way, let me ask you something here. Let's just go here with the perfect scenario. Jalen Hurts gets to a Super Bowl. You don't think Nicole Lynn's going to go to him and go to Howie Roseman and management and go like this? This is his third Super Bowl, 4 years. What are we doing? And they're going to demand north of 60. Without Mahomes in the playoffs, Hurts is the most successful quarterback in the playoffs right now. In any conference. I'm trying to think. How many Super Bowls Rodgers been to? Let me look. Bears, no. Seahawks, no. Purdy's been to one. Stafford's won one. Bills, no. Chargers, no. Texans, no. Jags, no. Patriots, no. Broncos, no. Hurts is the most successful quarterback right now in the postseason of any quarterback that's in the playoffs today. You don't think if you get to another Super Bowl, Clutch Sports is not going to go to Howie and go, I don't give a shit who you're paying on defense. You got to address the quarterback here. Stafford hasn't been to more Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been to more. Jalen Hurts is the most accomplished quarterback in the playoffs right now. If they were to start today. Nobody has been to more. He's got a 6-3 postseason record. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers is 11-10. I think he's got the most wins in the playoffs. Hurts has got the highest win percentage of any quarterback that's going to be in today's playoffs. You think in the offseason they're not going to go, whoa, where are we going here? There's a part of the Eagles that are going, if he wins again, you're going to get a knock on the door. And it's not going to be Drew Rosenhaus. It's going to be Nicole Lynn. How you doing? Hey, this is Nicole. By the way, you know that no trade you got in there? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to renegotiate this thing. You're going to pay my guy north of 60. Did you guys carry Vinny at the U? Same difference. You're a master evader, Sills. Vinny Testaverde won the Heisman Trophy. He threw for 30 touchdowns and had 5 interceptions. He went 11-0 in the regular season. The Heisman Trophies in a regular season, they were great on offense. We were the top-ranked defense in the NFL or in college football that year and the year before and the year after. Top-rated. So they had a top-rated offense. We had a top-rated defense. Nobody carried anybody. We were just fucking great. Carried who? No, when Vinny lost and threw 5 interceptions in the championship game, I said at the podium, I said, we win with him, we lose with him. This is a team. It's not one guy. Did I think he screwed us over? Did I think he played poorly? I did. But I didn't say it publicly at the time. What kind of teammate would I be? Blaming my teammate at the podium is bullshit. I don't throw my teammates under the bus. Doesn't happen. When you play a team sport, dude, you're in this shit together. You row in the same boat. That's why when I hear people go like this, hey, Sills, that defense, don't you think they get pissed off at the offense? No. I don't. Only if you got a dickhead coach like Buddy Ryan was back in the day to the offensive guys. He sided with the defensive guys. He was a defensive-minded coach. He always took pot shots at the offensive guys, and it became an adversarial relationship in the locker room. Jerome told me. Who deserves extensions? Well, Mauro Jomo does, but you won't do it. Phillips does. Carter. You might want to do Davis. Boy, I'll tell you what you got. Like a soup kitchen. You got a lot of people with bowls in their hands. Hey, I like to have some soup. Marcus Epps has played very well. All right. I thought you guys would be in here today crowing about your defense. Instead, you're moaning about the offense. You guys are moaning about the offense. All right. Without further ado, do you think my man, Big Z, has had any change of what he saw in that game on Sunday? We'll get to all super chats, my friend. After this segment, then we'll talk to G. Cobb and get his opinion too as well. What do you think? Without further ado, we bring our friend, Big Z. Xander Krauss in right now. We get our friend and we get his thoughts right now. How you doing, bro?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, man?
Any change? Any thoughts 24 hours later?
I feel a little bit better, I'm not going to lie to you.
Better in what way?
That this team can make a run. And I'm not going to sit here and sell you a sob song about that the offense is better than they are. They're not a good offense. But the Eagles' defense, since week 10, Sills, is giving up 14.5 points per game. I'll say that again. Since the trade for Jalen Phillips, the Eagles' defense is giving up 14.5 points per game. Now, you don't have to be a mathematician to know it doesn't take an elite offense to score more than 14.5 points a game. They're playing with physicality that resembles last year's defense. I see Jalen Carter blow up the line of scrimmage, get to Josh Allen. I saw Marcus Epps completely drop James Cook on his head and Cooper DeJean, big body and offensive lineman to jump on the football. I even saw Reed Blankenship taking a page out of Cooper DeJean's book, stepping up, making a big hit. I think this defense is so good and so suffocating that every team in the NFC who has a good offense, you saw two of them last night in the Niners and the Bears. You know, you have the Rams, you have the Seahawks who are shaky. You have, who am I missing? I guess the Packers, they're not all that great. I think this defense is going to make it really tough on any of those teams to score points at will the way they do. And what that doesn't guarantee you win the game, and it doesn't mean your offense can suck. But what it does do is it dictates how the personality of those games is going to go. And if you can force those teams to play our ugly smash mouth brand of football and hold and defensively suffocate them, like we've seen this defense do since week 10, I think you're going to be in any football game. And then the question to me becomes, Sills, can the offense make the 3 to 5 plays a game that it needs to make to put the dagger? That's what it needs to make. It doesn't need to be the greatest show on turf. It doesn't even need to be that great of an offense. Can they make the 3 to 5 plays in a game? I think they can. I think they can because of what they've done in the past. So I feel pretty good coming out of that game, man. It's a big win in Buffalo, Sills, late in December. I know it was ugly, but that's a tough place to play, man.
So you're cool with the margins being paper thin?
Well,
because with that mentality, what you just laid out, your margins are paper thin. You had a big margin a year ago because of the way you ran the ball. See, you're telling me everything you mentioned to me is the defensive side. You don't run the ball well. You're not consistent on offense. Your special teams was exceptional in a very tough place to play. Your defense played 73 plays. You give up 120 yards rushing with 73 plays. I'm good with that. Okay? You think that style of ball can win 4 ball games to win a Super Bowl?
Well, it's not my preference to obviously have the margin this small. I mean, it's it's not what you want.
One mistake, you're out.
Yeah, I mean, if Josh Allen makes the throw, the game's over. If we don't block the kick on the Rams earlier, they lose that game. But would I be wrong to say that majority of games in the NFL are low margins forever? I mean, I get it. Last year we had a bigger margin because of the way we played, but most of the time, I think margins are smaller. It's not my preference, obviously, but it doesn't make me say, "Oh, they're going to get one and done." That's what I don't understand. I don't understand people who are like, "Oh, the Eagles are going to be one and done." Why? Why? Says who?
If the Rams are their opponent, if your Rams are the opponent in the opening round, I would think that is going to be. See, the winner of that game to me, wherever it is in the opening round or in the divisional round or in the championship round, I think the winner of that game is going to win the Super Bowl. I think you're taking it wrong. If you open up with San Francisco, I think you win that game. But if you open up with the Rams, bro, that's a coin flip game.
Tough game. I think the truth is, Sills, I think all the playoff games could be a coin flip. But here's the thing. If you don't lose the game yesterday, which they didn't, why does anybody think that they're guaranteed to lose a playoff right away? I mean, again, there's no guarantee they go to the Super Bowl, but one of the beauties of this team, if you want to call it that, is that nobody really knows.
No.
I mean, you have 0 passing yards and 16 yards of offense versus one of the best second-half teams in football this year, the number 4 overall offense and the best quarterback in the NFL, and you walk out of there victorious. Now, again, I'm not saying that's a philosophy that you want to live and die by or live by every single week, but if you can win that game, you can win any game. Doesn't mean you're going to win every game, but you can win any game. And that's where, my faith comes on this team, that they'll make the plays that are needed, to win the football game. You're going to need a little bit more, I think, from the offense in the playoff moments, but give me those 3 to 5 plays, and I think they'll be in a good spot.
Here's for me where I would say this. A year ago, you could run yourself back into games, or you can. This year, you can't throw yourself back into games, I don't believe, and you can't run yourself back into games. Do you agree with that?
Well, so far, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they don't really do anything well consistently on offense yet this year. They're inconsistent in every area, right? I mean, run game, pass game, everywhere. So, yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. Now, again, I'm not saying you're not one of the teams. That's not what I'm – and by the way, I'm not telling you that you're not, and that wasn't a great win. That was. I just got to tell you, Xander, does it seem to me that the offense is absolutely looking worse as the season has gone on?
Well, I don't want to say that because, I thought they looked good. No, they had 2 shitty opponents, but they looked better versus those guys. And then I thought in the first half, Sills, I mean, to me, that was a good formula. The offense wasn't insane. They scored, 13 points in the first half, but the defense made plays. I'm assuming the defense is going to make plays all throughout the playoff run. When you're only giving up 14.5 points a game, Sills, you're in every game till the end. That's the truth. I mean, you don't even need to have a great offense to stay in that game. That's why I remain confident, because every game is going to be close. The margins are going to be small. There's no doubt about it, because we don't put up 30-plus points. So the margins are always going to be small when you score less. But when your defense is this good and they can turn Josh Allen into that, I mean, what the other crazy part of yesterday was, Sills? They had 5 sacks. Josh Allen he's hard to sack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's one of those. Now, he takes sacks, but he is a hard dude to sack.
He
can evade pressure. He does everything
There's been more of him this year because of the lack of talent in that line a little bit.
He's trying to make everything happen, which is why I think he takes more sacks than most. But, again, I think the defense is just vicious right now, man. And can the offense put up 17 points a game? I don't think that's that much to ask for. I really don't. And I do think the other thing that you talked about right before I came on is, a lot of people have a lot of criticisms of Jalen Hurts, and that's all right. Jalen Hurts has been a gamer in many moments in his life. Not every moment, but many moments. And enough moments for me to feel confident that when those lights get bright and we need him to make a play, he will rise up and make a play.
How do you think he played?
I thought he played good in the first half. He played awful in the second half. He didn't complete a pass.
Okay, how do you think he played for the game?
For 60 minutes, I mean, you can't play for 30 minutes in a football game. So that's a failed performance. I mean, to only play half the game, is not a complete effort. But, just contextualizing it, first half, I thought Jalen was great. I thought he made some tough, tight window throws. I liked the third downs. He was great on third down in the first half. I mean, he had that 3rd and 4 throw to Devontae Smith, split the defenders, great throw. He had the 3rd and 10 throw where he rolled out, found A.J. Brown, toward the side. I thought that was an awesome throw. He had a 3rd and 12 where he escaped the pass rush. Would have been a sack on probably 90% of quarterbacks. Escapes it, and then the Bills hit the penalty, and they extend the drive that way. I thought he made some play. I mean, I thought the throw to A.J. Brown that A.J. didn't catch because he was getting mauled, I thought that was a great throw. So first half, Jalen, if we can get that consistently, that's what I like to see. Second half, Jalen, obviously, the offense as a whole was terrible in the second half, and there's no excuses for that. Now, to put it all together in 60 minutes, yeah, it's a bad performance. You can't play 30 minutes,
I went back and watched it. I'm not blaming him for the second half.
It's interesting because I
think they shut him down.
They did, man. And the passing, four of the 7 dropbacks were throwaways.
Those zone runs into nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, the defense was stacking the box, and they're calling the same shit. My only problem, and I don't know this to be guaranteed. I don't know this for sure, but wasn't there so much made, Sills, in the last year and a half, and even this year, of Jalen's autonomy at the line of scrimmage? Hasn't that become a more prominent thing? I mean, he got credit for it, late in the year last year. He's gotten credit for it at times earlier this year. So if the problem with everybody is, the play calling in the second half, then is your assumption that Jalen doesn't have autonomy at the line of scrimmage? Is he also making the decisions to be this conservative? Is it a directive from the coaches? I don't know. I think there is context there of who's making the calls, and is Jalen checking out of them? Is he checking into them? Why are they running into a clearly stacked box for Buffalo? I don't know. I mean, I do think there is some context there. I'd love to get an answer, but I don't think we ever will.
Because it's too drastic. You have 20. You have what was it? 20 passes in the first half. Okay, your 20 passes in the first half. He's throwing dimes. Second half, they stopped.
Yeah, it was 13 or 18.
That looked like you went out of your way to not throw the ball. I tweeted out on X. I go, 3rd and 8, you run the ball? A zone lead run into nowhere.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the play calling was terrible in that.
Even the Buffalo Bill fans booed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, what are they doing? Why are you? They shut that thing down so much, dude. That's on Nick.
Yeah, it might be. All
right, Xander. Week 18. Where's Barkley?
What do you mean?
Where's Barkley?
Well, what was he yesterday? 19 for 79?
Was it that high? I
Look,
thought it was lower than that.
I'll tell you in a sec here. Yeah, he was 19 for 68, so a little worse. I mean, not quite 79, but 19 for 68.
What was it, 8 carries in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, he's just not great, but I mean that offensive line and that the run game, the run blocking of the offensive line has really been bad. I mean, Cam Jurgens, when you rewatch games and you know the outcome and you don't have to, pay, it's different when you rewatch a game as opposed to when you're watching it unfold in real time. I mean, he sticks out like a sore thumb, dude. He really does. I mean, it almost feels like every single time he has to block somebody, he misses it. It's not just
He's getting
a bad rep.
One-on-one pass rushing.
It's not even a bad rep, dude. This is like we're talking almost every rep. He's a liability.
Crushed.
And now it's like it doesn't even matter what defensive tackle we're playing against.
No,
you would think if we're out there playing Vita Vea, it's like, all right, yeah, he's going to get beat here and there. You're not. We're playing against mediocre guys. I mean, there's some good guys on that front, but their run defense is one of the worst in football.
30th.
I mean, so the offensive line's a big problem. I don't think Saquon's been perfect, but I do have a hard time thinking that, as athletically gifted as Saquon is, that he lost all that. Now, maybe he took a step back, but, Sills, can't you live with this? And I get it. It hasn't been a pretty year, but, the down year right now for Saquon, he's 9th in rushing right now. I mean, he's got, 7 touchdowns. He's averaging 4 yards a carry. I mean, again, I'm not saying that it's great, but if that's the down year after a 2000-yard season, it probably would have been smart for us to expect this type of production after the year he did last year. Now, I know, me included, as fans, you see him do that last year and you think, oh, he's going to come back and do that. Nobody's stopping him. But not that bad of a year, right? I mean, 4 yards a carry, 1,150 yards, 9th in the NFL.
I wasn't concerned about the volume of yards. I was concerned about the yards per carry.
Yeah, which is up to 4 for the season. I think where John is right is it's actually not the normal runs. It's the negative runs that they keep taking, which really screw their offense up. And the amount of them is just way too high. And that's where I think it's the O-line. Because when Cam Jurgens, I mean, you watch the one play, even the big run that Saquon had, by the way, last week, even the big run, the touchdown run, the Eagles are putting out slow motions of it. All I see while Saquon's running wild is Cam Jurgens getting walked around. Every single time it's a hit in the backfield. I mean, watch it. Is Saquon dancing? Yeah, he's dancing a little bit. Is he dancing, though, for no reason? Not really. He's dancing because he's got dudes running full steam ahead of him. I mean, Cam Jurgens is sometimes not even putting an arm on somebody. He's not even touching some of these tackles. I mean, the guy snaps the ball. He looks up and the fucking guy's behind him. I mean, that's not a good recipe for a running back. So it's a little bit of Saquon. It's a lot of bit of that interior of that offensive line. And, if you ask me, my biggest concern, like a little bit longer term on this team, not as much, maybe this year too, but, what are we doing with that offensive line? I mean, I know they've been great and they were historic last year, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't feel like Cam Jurgens is going to wake up one day and be an all-pro. I don't. I think potentially with the bad back and what's happened with his career, I don't know if he's ever going to return to form. Landon Dickerson, I love him. Awesome player. He's a dude he came out of college with double knee replacements, double ACLs. He's been banged up, knee, ankle, leg, back, you name it. He's on the injury report every week for something. How much longer is his body going to hold up? And remember, this is a run-first team, which is great, but it does have certain ramifications in that it's a physical style of football, which is much harder on an offensive line to play downhill like that every week, as opposed to dropping back in pass protection. So who knows what the long term of this O-line looks like, but I'm not really feeling too confident about Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, and I hate to say it, but Jordan Mailata hasn't been the same guy this year either. And Lane Johnson, what does he have? He's still amazing. Is he done after this year? Does he have 1 year left, 2 years left? Maybe he plays 3 more years if we're lucky. I don't know there. So I don't know, man. This offensive line is a big question mark for me moving forward, but that's for another day, I guess.
Do you think they replace 2 guys next year?
On the O-line?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they going to pay Steen? Probably not, right?
No
He's
way.
next year, though, right? He's got next year, right?
No way.
So he'll have next year. I don't think they'll replace him. Right guard's always been the last one they address.
That's right. It's been the revolving door guy to be paid.
The revolving door. I mean, I don't think you paid Cam Jurgens this past summer.
3-year contract, 20.
4-year.
4-year at 20. Wow.
I think it was like 4 for 68, right?
By the way, when you do that, you gave him a boatload of money up front.
Yeah, $40 million guaranteed. It was a 4-year, $68 million deal. It's through the 2029 season.
Man.
Guys, I got news for you. That extension hasn't even kicked in yet. He's still on the rookie. He's still on the original deal.
That's right.
This is the last year of the original deal for Cam Jurgens.
That's right. He's still on his second-round contract.
Yeah, that extension kicks in next year. So I don't think you're moving on from him. Landon Dickerson, they made him the highest-paid guard in football a couple years ago. Now he's not anymore, but I think he got like 4 years, $80 million, right? Landon Dickerson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his goes through 2028. He had a 4-year, $84 million deal. Which kicked in. This is the first year of that thing.
Got another one for you. Who's more important in the offseason to you? The re-signing of Moro Jomo or Jalen Phillips?
That's a good one, man. I'm going to have to go Jalen Phillips because I think Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, are good in that interior. If I let Jalen Phillips walk, who do we got? You got Jalen Hunt, who, by the way, has really come alive, looking like a really good player. And Nolan Smith, who, while he does good things, I think he sets the edge well. I think he plays the position fundamentally sound pretty well. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player, but I don't think he's a number 1 or even a number 2.
No.
So I want Jalen Phillips under contract.
He's a
then
price
you got Cooper and Quinn Yonder, both might be all-pro players.
No,
I mean, you got Zach Baum, you got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, you got Jalen Phillips. Reed Blankenship, I think, has played a little bit better in recent weeks.
Yes.
But don't you think he's taken I think Cooper DeJean's rubbing off on that guy a little bit. That guy's out there hitting some people. I love it.
I've seen him more the last 3 games. Like, I've seen him more. Like, I've seen him. I look up and I thought it was DeJean. It was Blankenship.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, so I'm seeing – I'll tell you this. I think the play of the linebackers has covered a lot of the bullshit that the safeties have had to deal with. And I think the safety position's calmed down.
Yeah, I do too.
It's calmed down a lot. By the way, the one guy you're not hearing his name, you don't hear Dory Jackson being rooted out.
He's been good, man. He's been solid.
Yeah, he kind of has turned the corner a little bit. He's fitting in. I think that has to do with the pressure that you're getting up front, though. The pressure up front is helping that secondary and them corner play. So, I mean, let me lead this to here. I'm just going to throw a name out, and then I want you to fill in the narrative. Vic Fangio.
Hall of Famer. Remarkable. Smart. Poised. Great coach. Unbelievable situational awareness in how he calls games. I mean, watching the way he adjusts and throughout a game and the way he manages different teams and, get all sorts of different teams, different quarterbacks, different offenses. I mean, it feels like he's got an answer for everything. Now, I think the players deserve a lot of credit, but Vic is a Hall of Fame coordinator.
Well, then why can't they get that same type of approach on offense?
Well, it's a little harder to do because everybody wants the next offensive guy, and I don't know why, part of me wonders why they keep going.
Yeah, I understand that, but not a guy who's never done it.
Yeah, that to me, it's stupid. It doesn't even. Now, remember how it unfolded. Like, Kellen left late because they went to the Super Bowl. There's not a lot of options then. Most coaching staffs are already filled out. Remember, but most of these teams are bouncing early January. They're well underway, by mid-February when the Eagles had to replace their coordinator. So maybe that has something to do with it. I would advocate for the Eagles to abandon the approach of constantly trying to find the young offensive coordinator, because the young offensive coordinator no matter who your head coach is, no matter who your quarterback is always going to be sought after by a league that builds for offense and the league that legislates for offense. So I'm not saying there's a lot of these guys, but that's why I like names like Frank Reich. A lot of people are like, oh, don't go back down that road. But why don't you see him like you see Vic? Vic doesn't want to be a head coach. Vic should – come on. If we're being honest here, Vic should be the number one head coaching candidate. If you're talking about strictly coordinator performances in the NFL, that dude should be a top head coaching candidate every year. But he's not – he don't want to be a head coach anymore. He wants to be a defensive coordinator. He's old. That's the guy. I think you need a guy who's been through it. That's why – this is why I'm so high on the Patriots' future. They brought in Josh McDaniels. Nobody wants to hire Josh McDaniels to be a head coach anymore. That dude built and developed and worked with Brady his whole career. Now he's got Drake May. He's got a great defensive-minded head coach. I mean, they're building Belichick 2.0 right now.
That's right.
So I wish the Eagles would abandon the approach of these young coordinators because you don't have a play-calling head coach, which is okay, but optimize for it. Try and get a guy who can have some staying power. Now, with that being said, I know people are going to hate this, but should Patullo come back? You want another new coordinator next year?
Yeah, you bring him back.
Hey, you want another new coordinator? We're going to be in another new system, another new offense, more newness for Jalen Hurts.
I think even if you get bounced, you got to bring him back. How about some stability? Try stability. So I asked this question, and again, this is more of a success question. In the last 2 years, who do you believe has had the most? Who's been more responsible for the team's success, Nick or Vic?
Nick or Vic?
Yeah.
Interesting question. I gotta give Nick here. I think Fangio helped them get over the finish line. But remember, this team did go to a Super Bowl with Jonathan Gannon.
He was the consultant on that team. He was in the building, too.
He was an offensive consultant only for the final couple of weeks. You're right. He was in there. But, I think it's got to be Nick. I understand that Nick sometimes comes off. He comes off to me like an asshole. Guys walking through the lobby after the game. It's like, dude, you're a head coach of a $10 billion organization. Some people love it. Some people love the emotion and the enthusiasm and that crap. But sometimes I wish he would handle himself a little differently. But it is what it is. I don't want to tell him how to do his job. He's obviously successful at what he does. I think it's Nick, though. I think you got to go Nick. Vic maybe is the reason that they got over the top, though. Is that fair?
All right, I'll move the goalpost on that. I will. I personally think, though, how about this? Let's go around the league for a moment here. How do you think Ben Johnson's done with developing of Caleb Williams?
I think he's done. Great. The difference there is that Caleb Williams has unbelievable talent. I don't think people even realize how talented that kid is. If that coach can teach him how to play quarterback, he's going to be lights out. That dude has wicked.
I didn't see any of that last year.
No. And the thing last year was not even actually that. He always had the arm talent. But you're right. He didn't show it much last year. But last year he was turnover prone, never threw the ball away, took bad sacks. Ben has totally cleaned some of that stuff up. Now, he still has a long way to go. He misses some of the easy throws. He's got to be more consistent. But when you're talking about a quarterback that has an upside, Caleb Williams is second to none.
Do you think Goff missed Ben Johnson this year?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I think the Lions missed. I actually think the Lions missed him more than Jared did. I thought Jared had an okay year. Yeah. He had 33 touchdowns, 5 picks. He had a decent year to me. But situationally, I think they struggled offensively. With a feel for the game.
How do you think Kyle Shanahan has handled Mac Jones and Brock Purdy this year, having lost Purdy for about 7-8 ball games? Mac Jones comes in; he's at 68% completion percentage. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you got Brock Purdy playing great football right now against a football team that had a really good day against you guys. How do you think Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, it's funny. I think Kyle Shanahan is the real quarterback whisperer in the NFL. That dude Kevin O'Connell's taking that nickname. That's bullshit. It's not Kevin O'Connell. It's Kyle Shanahan. Every quarterback that goes through that organization, whether they're a starter or a backup, comes out in a better position than when they went in there. Mac
That guy in
Jones will do the
Seattle.
same
That
thing.
guy in Seattle's doing a pretty good job too. That Mike McDonald.
Yeah, but Sam Darnold. Remember, Sam Darnold was a backup in San Francisco
I
before
got it.
he went to the Vikings last year to win 14 ball games.
I got it. The guy
You
in
know?
Los Angeles is pretty good too. I'm talking McVay.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying. I think Kyle
Dude,
Shanahan.
here's my
is the
point.
best.
How do you think Nick's done developing Jalen as a guy with skill set?
Well, I don't think Jalen has the skill set that Nick wants. That Nick knows how to develop. I don't know that Nick knows how to develop a quarterback at all. The guy's a wide receiver coach. What the fuck does he know how to develop a quarterback?
Okay, so he hasn't really taken Jalen to another level as a player.
No, I don't think he's tried. I think he's tried to.
So you pay a guy $50 million and you shut him down in the second half with no understanding that you don't believe that it's more about your system than it is the player, then, right?
Well, I think he believes this. No, because I think he did suit the system for their style, for the quarterback.
And that's why it's
He
limited.
never wanted to develop Jalen into a high passer. You can tell the Bears want Caleb to be that. That's how they're trying to develop him. And you can't play in a Kyle Shanahan system and not be a volume passer. You can't. Sean McVay, while I give you credit, he's obviously a great coach, but I don't give him as much quarterback development credit because, he went and got the already developed guy. Now, he won with him. He's a great play caller, but he didn't. I mean, he kind of developed Goff, but, he moved on from him because he's like, he's one of those coaches that's like, I don't want to go through any of the growing pains. I don't want rookies. I don't want any of this bullshit. I want the guy that knows what to do, with the football. So I don't give him as much credit. Kyle seemingly revives everybody. I mean, he took Brock Purdy. You guys have last pick in the draft. By the way, Brock Purdy last night, honorable mention. What the hell was that? That was unbelievable from Brock Purdy.
What do you have? 6 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns?
And he was dancing. He's running around. He's juking people. He's doing everything, man. Making throws on the run. I'm like, what the heck is this? Brock Purdy, the newest dual threat.
What did he have? He had 303, 3 touchdowns, and he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
2 rushing, yeah.
So he had 5 TDs in the ball game, man. And he was 24-33. Holy cow, man. I'll tell you. And by the way, that Christian McCaffrey, you want to hear this? He's 110 yards away from his second 1,000 receiving and rushing. Yeah. He's 4 catches away from 100 catches.
I think he'll fall under 1,000 yards receiving, but still an amazing feat. That dude can play, dude. Dude's a flat out.
His third year as a player, over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Top man, that guy is just he's sensational. Couple more here, Xander. Let me ask you about the playoffs here. What's the one thing about Seattle that scares you?
One thing about Seattle?
Not scares. What's the one thing that's concerning that Seattle gives you?
Seattle weirdly is a team that they don't really have anything. I mean, they got the defense, which is good, but I like that matchup for the Eagles because we don't take advantage of bad defenses anyway. So a great defense to me is more neutralized because we don't score on bad defenses. So how much better is a good defense going to be versus us? Wow. And I like our defense against that offense. I think Darnold is turnover prone in the playoffs. I think our defense will get some takeaways on them. And I think, that will be one of the reasons you win the game. Remember, one of the reasons we won the game yesterday is because of that Josh Allen fumble. We had a short field there.
Change the tide of the game.
Yeah, and we scored on that drive, and that was one of our only touchdown drives of the game, and it was our only touchdown drive of the game, and you had a short field. So that was a big part of it too. I think you're going to have that style with Seattle, where you can get some takeaways on defense. You can screw Sam Darnold up, and you can win that football game.
Well, one thing I will say is they got Cooper Kupp up there, and they got that Jackson Smith and the Jabba kid. I mean, it's a pretty good-looking duo.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a great defense. I think we got the defense to handle that, though. I'll put it this way to you. I would much rather, and I mean much rather, have the 49ers win that football game next week for first seed. I would much rather play Seattle in the opening round.
So
Much
Brian Murphy and Leonard Williams against Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson. You feel good about that?
No, but I wouldn't feel good. I mean, who was the defensive tackles yesterday? How'd that work out?
Right. Those guys are the 30th ranked.
I know. My point is that it's already.
These guys are 10 times better.
I'm going into the game knowing, all right, it's going to be ugly offensively. That's it. You're missing what I'm saying. I know it's going to be ugly offensively. Leonard is great. Yeah, they're all great.
I got it.
I'm saying I like that coach or that quarterback and that offense to against our defense as opposed to a guy like Shanahan who will know how to play Vic's defense. He might not do it that successfully, but he's going to know. Got to protect the football. He's going to tell Brock certain things that I don't know if Sam Darnold's going to know. When that Sammy Darnold pumpkin patch starts lighting up, there's no telling how many turnovers he could have. You get a turnover, you get a pick, you get a fumble, you get a pick, you get a pick six. We could have 3 takeaways in that game.
How about the Bears? What's your concern here? By the way, DeAndre Swift, 1,100 yards rushing, 350 yards receiving. I love DeAndre Swift. Your boy from your high school is doing great. I mean,
absolutely.
I'll tell you what, too. Montez Sweat has come on this year and has had a pretty good year. He's got 9.5 sacks right now.
Wow.
How's that for you?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you make of this Bears team? Plus with that play caller, and don't forget Kevin Allen or Dennis Allen on the other side. The defense.
Yeah, their defense isn't very good though.
No, but then again, I saw Josh Allen and those guys, like you said, shut you down. I mean, Buffalo Bills shitty defense shut you down. Again,
well,
my problem with the conversation with the Eagles, when every time the Eagle fans, and not you, Z, I'm talking about they go like this. Well, that defense is not great. Well, bro, you're talking like you're coming from a place where you think you have a high shelf offense here. You don't. You don't have a very good offense.
No, I know we don't. I think everybody knows we don't. I mean, I don't think is anybody.
No. But I get the feeling that sometimes they go, well, that defense is not very well. I mean, that's a push then.
Yeah, but that's my point about like you can look at the defense, whether the defense is great or the defense is ass. My point is the Eagles' offense is going to do the same thing. Whether they're great or they're trash, the offense is going to be what the offense is. Probably ugly. We'll probably convert some plays, maybe get up and down the field a couple times. I'm more looking at matchups for our defense, and I look at play call. I look at, I think McVay, I think Ben, I think Shanahan. They're a better matchup for Fangio than who is it? Clint Kubiak in Seattle,
yeah.
And Sam Darnold. I mean, I think Clint Kubiak's done a good job, but you can't stop Darnold going pumpkin, no matter who your play caller is. So that to me is where I think the advantage lies. The Bears are a great football team. I mean, they've gotten better each week. I mean, they've been a running team. You're starting to see flashes of Caleb. Dude, did you see that one throw last night?
Is it the Colston Loveland?
He had 2 throws. That one to Colston Loveland down the left sideline where he threaded that needle so perfectly on a rope. I mean, that was such a damn good throw. And then the other throw was the touchdown throw. I think it was the Luther Burden over the top.
He's good.
Dude, he's standing in the pocket, Sills. His left arm doesn't move. He's flat-footed on his back feet, and he just flicks the wrist, and the ball sails right over the top, and boom, perfectly accurate touchdown. I'm like, dude, if this guy keeps developing at learning how to play the position, he's going to be unbelievable. Now, he's got a long way to go yet to get there, but he has tremendous talent. And the other thing I think he's done is he stopped the turnover-worthy plays. Ben beat that out of him. Dude, throw the ball away. You can't take turnovers like that. You'll cost us games. And he's way down on the turnovers this year. I think their passing game is getting better and better each week. They're a tough team. I think the Eagles will match up decently with them, but I think they're a tough team for sure.
This Rams team with Stafford, Corinne Williams, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. I think that tight end is coming on, that Parkinson kid. Their defense, too, with Fisk, with Kobe Turner. Another damn good season this year. He's got 7 sacks inside. He made the Pro Bowl. We're going to read all the supers here in a minute.
Yeah, we got a big one we got to get to.
Yep, we're going to read them all here. What do you make of that Rams team, dude, going into like a matchup with them? Is that the biggest concern team?
Yeah, they're probably on paper the best team in the NFC right now. I mean, it's amazing how it all switches. One loss to Seattle, they don't even have a shot at getting the 1 seed. It's crazy. Sometimes, I mean, they were the 1 seed. It looked like they were going to be the 1 seed for a long time. Now they don't even have a chance. So they're either going to be the 5 seed or the 6 seed. I think they're going to be the 5 seed. They play tonight. They play the Falcons tonight in Atlanta. If you're an Eagle fan, you should be rooting for the Rams tonight because I don't think you want them to lose, and then you're going to face them in round 1. So I'm with you. I want 37-year-old Matthew Stafford to have to go through a gauntlet before we have to play him. I'm not really looking to play him in the first game. So I'm hoping the Rams win tonight because I want them to win out. They got the Cardinals next week. So if they win tonight, I mean, they should be in the clear to win out.
Best thing ever to happen is that, guess what? If the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl this year, they got to do it 4 times on the road.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's tough.
Dude, they got to go on the road. They may even have to go on the road against an 8-9 Carolina Bucks team.
They are. That's what they're going to have to do probably. But no, I'm not. I mean, I think the Rams are the best team in terms of they have the most. They have the passing game. They have the running game. They have a solid defense, a good defense. They have everything. They have a good coach. My question
I like Chris Shula, their D coordinator, a young D coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, they fired their special teams coordinator. That's a little trouble for them. So, but I think that's probably the best team. I mean, I don't fear them though. I think the Eagles could hang with them. The thing about this Eagles team is this defense is so suffocating, dude. You turn every game into the type of game that we play. It ain't pretty, but I'd rather have what you don't want to do is you can't get into a game like you saw last night, which will never happen because our defense is so good. But you don't want to get into a pass game, a high score. You don't want to get into that. Not this year. Not right now. No way.
Let me say something about Vic. I heard John say this. Vic Fangio has been a really good coordinator in the NFL. He's not been like this. And let me tell you why it's been a perfect fit for him. Because they'll give him what he needs. It's the first time in his coaching career since he was early days in New Orleans that the Benson family gave him what he wanted. He had all those linebackers back in the day. I think it was called like the Soul Patrol. They were all pro guys. This is the best he's ever had being in an organization, maybe even since maybe the Philadelphia Stars. So, I mean, he hasn't been like this, Xander. These last 2 years have been exceptional. All right, let's read these.
Wait, was Chris Shula their defensive coordinator last year too?
No, it was Raheem. No, wait.
No, he was 2 years ago.
Yes, yeah. Because Raheem got the job because he won the Super Bowl as the DC. That's how he got the job in Atlanta.
Yeah, so I always get a kick out of this, though. Like Stafford is a stash in the playoffs. All right, well, verbal. We knocked him out last year. He had 324 passing yards in the game and 2 touchdowns. I mean, what are we talking about here? Yeah. I mean, we and by the way, this is where the Rams are shaky. All right. Jalen Hurts had 7 sacks in that game for 63 yards. Remember, it was a big thing. He had like 78 net passing yards, whatever that was in the game. And Saquon Barkley in that playoff game went 26 carries for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Rams are significantly better against the run this year than they were last year. So if they take away that type of run game, is Jalen going to be able to elevate and have a better game than he had last year in the playoffs? I think the Rams are the best positioned, or the toughest test for the Eagles. All the other ones I think I feel pretty good about, to be honest.
All right, let's read these supers. We're going to get Gary up here real soon. He's got a house full of kids.
Oh, I love it.
By the way, because of the holidays here. So let's get to these supers, my friend.
All right, here we go. Look at Philly, man.
Hey, man. Thank you.
Philly, thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
He said, real quick, before you read this, I want to say it one more time, and I want to underscore it. I think that's a hell of a win.
I agree.
It's a hell of a win.
It is, man. It's a tough place to play late in December, man, with torrential downpour. I mean, it is. Philly, what's up, dude? Thanks for the super chat. Philly Ed says, happy holidays, JAKIB family. I don't agree with every take you have, but the passion and unbiased opinions are why I keep listening. Go Birds. I love it. I don't
This
want
is
you to
why
agree
we
with
love
everything
guys
all
like
that.
you, bro. Way to go, man. Thank you very much. You're not a glazed donut like M. Reyes.
If you agree with every take I have, you got to get your head checked.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. My ex page never rests. That's for damn sure. I'll tell you that.
You just love You just love pouring gas
He
out
goes,
there.
it's what you would call me an instigator. Is that
Your
what it is?
your gas is starting to lose its kick.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. We'll see. With that wonderful high-powered offense of yours, I'm ready to rock. Big Sills looks pretty good, man. All my stuff looks pretty good. Jalen Hunt looking good. I mean, I told you the Niners had a shot to win a number 1 overall seed with a shitty schedule they had. That's looking pretty good too. But
Remember, though, I want to wait. Can I just say that we got a couple more Supers to read? I need everybody to look at the truth, justice, and the Big Z way. All right. I know the offense is ugly. I know a lot of you have problems with the quarterback. I know a lot of you think Kevin Petula is the worst player in the world, worst coach in the world. All right. Eagles are going to win 12 football games coming off a year when they won the Super Bowl. They had a first-place schedule this year. Jalen Hurts has record in passing touchdowns this year.
25.
He's got a 1,000-yard running back. He's got a 1,000-yard receiver. Dallas Goedert breaks a record this year with touchdown passes. The defense looks vicious again. Relax, everybody. I understand it doesn't look at the beauty pageant like you want it to look, and I'm guilty of it too. All right? I'm guilty of it too. But all things considered, first-place schedule, to win 12 ball games, to have another home playoff game on the horizon. I mean, pump the brakes. Take that Sileo-ized edible and chop it up.
He's 16th in attempts. He's 17th in completions. He's had the
I don't give a
lowest.
shit about that bullshit.
He's had the lowest completion percentage in 4 years.
You always turn it into the quarterback only. I'm talking about the football team.
Okay. All right, then. It's about time somebody said that. It's not the quarterback. It's
about the team, man.
Absolutely.
12 wins potentially this year. Another home playoff game with a first-place schedule. I mean, come on. This team, I know it's not pretty, but this team's in a good spot. And that defense, whoo, man, they are good, Sills. All right, a couple more Supers.
With that Naval Academy offense, I'm ready to rock.
Steph says, Fabio don't get paid by the point of the first down. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be good, man. They would never get paid. Mikey says, elite trash, or if we blow, Eagles train to go. I don't know what the heck you're talking
me neither,
about.
but thank you.
Here's Mr. Hill. Stills, I meant to ask you last week when you had Vinny on. Wasn't Jim Kelly more revered at the U? You didn't have Vinny on yet.
No, I didn't. I had Bernie on.
Yeah. Bernie.
Who was more revered at the U, Vinny or Jim Kelly or Bernie Kosar? Bernie Kosar is more revered because he won the national title. These other guys didn't, even though Kelly's the best.
Here's Martin. Sills, why not let Petullo call plays till the third quarter, then have Nick go conservative in the fourth? I don't know what they're doing.
They should have Nick go get a sandwich in the fourth quarter and let the damn play caller call the plays. Go get me a hot dog, Nick.
Here's Brody. Who deserves
scream at someone else? Where's Big Dom when you need him?
I don't know where Big Dom is. Who deserves extensions, Sills? Jalen Phillips going to be tough to not pay. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis.
Bye-bye, Morrow.
Yeah, I think unfortunately you're right. And unfortunately, probably, if I had to guess right now, probably bye-bye Nakobe Dean too.
Yeah, Nakobe Dean. And guess what? Hey, Nolan, you ain't getting no extension either,
I mean,
guy.
you sent a first-round pick on a linebacker, and he looks damn good every time he gets on the field. I mean, I like Nakobe too. I think he's a great player. But at some point, the business comes into play. So we'll see.
Absolutely, my friend. It's going to be
an interesting good show, man.
Hey, last one before we get G Cobb. G Cobb's got a whole family over right now. So
I love it, man.
I talked him into doing this here, man. He's really dope for doing this. But one question. Is it Tanner season this week?
I don't know. So Nick spoke when I came on, so I didn't get a chance to hear him. He started at 3:30, but we'll find out. I think you play to win, man. Second seed's a better road.
Absolutely. But let me know. Let me know what he said if it's a Tanner week.
I will. And don't you think that whether it's Tanner and Tank or Jalen and Saquon and the starters, they're going to win that game. It's Josh Johnson.
Bro, the Commanders are already in Jamaica. They're not.
Yeah. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay, the U-Hauls are packed. Is G-Cobb playing up in Detroit a couple of years?
Yeah.
He knows about he knows about having them U-Hauls packed.
Here's Mikey. Hey, Sills, if Barkley is 161 next week, he'll be at 1301.
Not bad.
He's not getting him 161 next week. He hasn't done that all year. He might not even play next week, Mikey.
No.
But all right, Sills, good show, man.
All right, brother, appreciate it. You were awesome today. Make sure you guys check him out on Birds 365. All right, G Cobb. So I text G Cobb, and G Cobb's like he's got the whole family over right now. So I said, come on, man, please, I need you here, G Cobb. And he's like, all right. He's got to be impressed with what he saw defensively, man. 73 plays, and they shut down that entire offense in Buffalo. Gary knows what it's like to go up there. He and I know it as Ralph Wilson Stadium. Dude, that place up there is tough to play. And you're in bad weather. You never know what the weather's going to be like. One day, before I get Gary on, one day I remember someone going, Sills, it's going to be sunny. It's November. We're going up to Buffalo. The next day, off that Lake Erie, we had 4 inches of snow. I froze my baguettes off. I couldn't believe how freezing it is. I looked at the guy, and I remember the assistant coach, and I go, dude, I mean, it was Sylvester Croom. I go like, this is Sylvester Croom. I go, dude, you told me it was going to be sunny. He goes, well, I never played in Buffalo. Well, that is why you never take anything for granted when you go there. That's a pretty damn impressive win. All right. Fox 29, full family over during the holidays for Christmas and for New Year's coming up. He is our friend from Fox 29 in Philadelphia. He is a former Eagle. He is our friend, and he is always kind to do this for us, and we so appreciate him. As all of you know, our friend G Cobb is in the house right now.
How you doing?
Happy holidays to you, Gary. So you got the whole crew over right now, huh?
Well, they're over at the mall now. So got them over there, give them a few dollars. Hey.
Man.
the kids, boy. Hey, they're gonna hustle you anyway. So
yeah. Oh no, this is what I do during the holidays. Someone goes like this. You going out to buy presents? I go like this. No. Here we go. Okay, I got this. Leave me alone. My president is being left alone. Jerry, tell me this, Gary. What do you think? What were your initial takeaways from that win on Sunday against the Bills?
Well, I tell you, boy, if anybody would ever want to say, talk about a conspiracy theory, look at the way that game ended. With the guy wide open, you got a pro quarterback with the ball. The guy's wide open.
Reigning MVP.
And somehow he doesn't get the ball to the guy. I'm still trying to understand what happened. How could you? He didn't see the guy. I mean, what happened? I mean, if you want to talk about strange, I mean, like, after the guy, I'm wondering, like, well, the guy was wide open, but he missed the guy that bad.
Oh, so wait a minute. Are we talking that you're going here with Paul Crew from Longest Yard? Are you saying that there's something shady here?
I mean, well, I was going like, what happened? You didn't say what happened?
Oh, I saw it.
I mean, I'm wondering, like, what happened? Did he hold them? And they had a great matchup because you got a quick receiver against the linebacker. Come on, it's no contest. Especially he knows where he's going. It's wet. It's wet.
And he was beat. He was beat.
No, he was beat. The guy was wide open. And then I don't know. Maybe something was in his eye or something. How he missed that guy, I don't know. I don't understand. But you of course you celebrate and you go out of there. Now the defense. I mean, I give all the credit in the world to the defense. What happens to this team offensively to where now I know that Nick believes in, of course, turnovers. That is, his gospel is if you take care of the football, you're going to win. If you win the turnover battle, you're going to win the game. That's his gospel. That's what he believes in. But to take it to the level where you basically just say, we're not going to do anything offensively.
No completed passes in the second half.
I mean, come on, it was ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they do that, and you're not going to beat the good teams. I was looking at the other game, what is it? Chicago and San Francisco. Are you kidding me? They got no shot against either one of them if they're going to play like that. You got to be more aggressive, because really they had opportunities to put that game away where, they're in the fourth quarter. If they are aggressive and they go down, they score one more time, it's over. They don't have enough time to come back, But and they're going to have to play more aggressive offensively, meaning they got to have an aggressive attack. I thought they did some of the things early on where they're throwing the ball downfield. They're doing, come on, you got all these players, you got weapons. You can't just go and shut it down like that against San Francisco. You can't do that against them. You can't do that against Chicago. I mean, they got to be more aggressive. I was really disappointed in that second half. It wasn't just the offense. It was the play calling. My goodness, what are you doing? You're just going to just go out there and put all the pressure on the defense. And eventually, the Bills had some success moving the ball. I'm going like, look at the position you put your defense in, where you just shut it down offensively. And I think it's ridiculous. I know Nick, though, he believes in the whole thing about if you win the turnover battle, you win the game and everything. But you cannot, take all of the attacking away from the offense to the point to where they're playing like they're little kids out there playing Pop Warner football. Look, these guys are pros. They got to be able to take care of the football and still be aggressive with it. So, that was
Gary,
hard to watch.
Would you have gone for the extra point? Because I'm starting to now, throughout the show, I kind of like the aggressiveness, but then somebody brought this up. They had run 73 plays at that Eagle defense. I mean, they were gassed at the end. They had to be because they were going up and down the field towards the end there. Would you have kicked that extra point, tied the game, and then tried to get them in overtime because of so many
I would have tied the game. That's right. I would have. I thought, come on. They had taken over the game, The Eagles were playing, on the defensive, and I think they would have had the same thing going into the overtime. So, it didn't make any sense to me. Why you didn't go ahead and kick the extra point, and now you got the Eagles playing defensively, and it's hard. Once you get into a role during a game, it's very hard to get out of it when you're just like, when the game is kind of being played out, the other team is more aggressive, and you're playing and you're being careful and everything, and they got themselves in there, and they're doing that too much. They're taking that to the extreme where you get to where you're just going to be throw the ball. I mean, I'm gonna run the ball twice, and then I'm gonna throw, and then I'm gonna punt. Come on, man. This pro ball. Give these other guys some credit. You can't do that the whole game and not expect to have the other team's going to have some success offensively. And they were really fortunate to come out with that game. They really should have lost the game because the guy was wide open there, and they should have lost the game. And they had lost all the momentum, very fortunate. Of course, they blocked that extra point. I was fortunate about that, but that's for as well as they played, and really as good as the defense played the entire game, it's a shame you win like that. Come on, as well as the defense played, but I thought offensively they just got too conservative and put all the pressure on the defense. That's ridiculous.
What about this year? There's been two games. The Buccaneer game, he was 0 for 8 in the second half, no completed passes. Yesterday he was 0 for 7. Now there were some drops, but I mean, Gary, have you ever in your life, being a 10-plus year guy, covering it for over 30 some odd years now, have you ever seen anything like that where you win a game and you don't complete a pass? That's like a full football game where you don't complete a pass.
It's ridiculous, and like I said, but I don't blame all of that. Now, no,
I blame that on the coaches.
Jalen is with the ball and everything. That's Nick.
Yeah.
Come on, it's Nick. Nick takes it to an extreme where, look, you can't play these teams. You're going to let a team that you have dominated, let them back in the game.
Yeah.
You can't take it to that extreme. And you got to realize these are pros. And so you could run a play action pass, and you're going to have 3 guys wide open. They could have done that, because they were playing the run, like on the early downs. They know they're going to run the ball because you're playing, where you're not giving your guys credit to where they can play, but still take care of the football without turning it over. I mean, you can't play that conservative. Come on. You got to give your players some credit. The offense, we can run the offense and be conservative and take care of the football. Yeah, but we got to have some kind of attack. We can't just get so conservative to where you're just going to run the same thing and then punt and put all the weight on the defense. That's ridiculous. As well as they played, it's a shame, that they had to be on the field all that time. Come on, man. But I know where Nick is coming from. I understand, and I know, he's had success with it. I mean, people can say what they want. Even with this, he's going to say, well, we got out of there with a win, so what's the problem? Come on, you're not going to beat the good teams. Come on.
No, I agree.
You look at the way these other teams are going to, when they get San Francisco, if they play against San Francisco and Chicago, those offenses, you're going to play your offense like that? You're going to be so conservative.
And consecutive. See, Gary, I think you can win a game.
Yeah.
But to win 4 of them, I don't know, man. That's the challenge for me.
Yeah, because you got to come out and be on the attack like they come out on the attack. Man, you got to give it to these teams. And the play calling they do, the aggressiveness. Man, they come out. They were going after each other. It was boom, boom, boom. I mean, I don't think that they can move the ball like that against the Eagles at that level. But my goodness, those 2 teams, Chicago and San Francisco, my goodness, they were that was like an epic battle, man. The way they were scoring and going after each other aggressively, and the creativity offensively. See, creativity, come on. And the Eagles need to be there taking notes. And look at some of these plays.
Oh, I agree. Gary, how about this one here? Nick talked today to the media. Would you sit your players this weekend?
Well, no, I wouldn't sit.
You still have a shot at the 2 seed.
Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and go after the 2 seed. And, I think it's just a situation. Yeah, you got to go ahead. The thing I think they can do if they come out and play well, the game will be over at halftime. Come on. The Commanders, they don't want to play. Come on, their season is over. Come on. So if they come out and play well, and that's where you love to see them come out and where they're sharp and they go out and they have some good drives. They go down, they score, take a good lead against these guys. Let's say that the defense helps them get a turnover or something. If they could come out and play like that, that's the way you want to go into the playoffs, like that. You want to be sharp. And I think they got a chance to do that. And that's the shame of it, is because if you could take what they did offensively in the first half and just keep playing that way, why do you got to change everything to the point, especially the third quarter? They should have been aggressive in the third quarter. Why not? Because you put the game away. Because once they got to to the 20s, the game was over, But they sat and they held on to the lead, and they held on to the lead, and they held on to the lead, just basically doing an offense where you're going to run twice, and then Jalen will scramble, throw the ball out of bounds, punt, 3 plays, punt, get that punt team up, get that punt team up. I guess they probably do it on the first down. Hey, get the punt team up. You got to be more aggressive than that. And it's a shame that they
Gary, how about this here? Who do you believe in the last? I asked Xander this. I'm going to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think has had more responsibility in the wins the last 2 years? Vic or Nick?
I will give, I'll give Nick credit, but Vic has he's been the key.
Yeah,
he's been the key. Last year he did this, where the defense he puts these guys through this course where they get better as the season goes along.
Look at Reed Blankenship and Jalen Hunt. These guys are getting better.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like some of these guys are not the greatest athletes or anything like that, but he has them where they play smart football, and they do some things that are basketball thing where they're passing off, different guys in the routes, where they're talking. You can see guys are talking. They know what, they do a good job of anticipating what they're going to do. They know what they're going to do out of the, different sets they come out in and everything. They play smart football, You just got to give them credit. And, Vic does a great job. I have to say, you put him up there with the best defensive coordinators that have ever done it, man. The guy does a great job of playing smart football, and he utilizes the skills of the players he has, and he does a tremendous job of it. But I'd have to go with Vic. I mean, the last 2 years, man, he's just done an exceptional job with the way he prepares these guys, and they play smart football. And he utilizes the abilities of the different players. And, they're going to be tough. I mean, if you have Jalen Carter there healthy and everything, they're going to be tough because, you got Davis in there. He's playing well. They're in the middle. And, you really play off of them. And they do a great job. And with the linebackers, getting in on it. And I like that. I think the thing that I'd like to see a little more, which I saw last year, which they really got into, which is going after the ball, turnovers, punching the ball out, playing like that. If they play like that, I'm telling you, they can beat all of these teams. But let the offense play. My goodness, don't shut the offense down at halftime. What are you doing?
Gary. One more thing a couple more questions there for you. Don't you agree, like a year ago, the thing that tied the defense together was the emergence of Zach Bond? This year, has that happened now with the addition of Jalen Phillips? And what I mean by that is all of a sudden you add that component, Reed Blankenship showing up. There's no Adoree Jackson issues. There's more pressure on the quarterbacks. There's more sacks. You're starting to see, like, with one addition and the Jalen Phillips, look at how Moro Jomo's playing. Look how the guys are playing in the middle now. The safeties aren't that much. Am I right? Like, one player can change the entire makeup of a defense. And it just looks like ever since they added that guy, the entire defense has turned a corner. Is that fair?
I think there's truth to that. I definitely think there's truth to that. But, but really, all of the guys have gotten smarter. I mean, where they have all gotten to where guys are playing better. When I look at them individually, they're playing back better. I mean, Blankenship, come on, the open field tackling. He's coming up even more aggressive. It's like he's got some of Cooper. Because Cooper, the kid comes up. He doesn't just come up. He comes up with an attitude. And to see safety playing like that, and so Blankenship has started playing like that, and and a lot of things on the defense, it definitely is contagious when you have certain players on there and they're playing just like with the pass rush. You see those guys are doing a better job with the pass rush and the aggressiveness, and I guess that's the biggest thing is the defense has become more aggressive. They get after the offense, and it just seems like you've seen it out of some of the players, but it's like all of them have gotten that way. Now, it's just one thing is I'd like to see them punching that ball out more like they were doing last year. Because a few turnovers, man, you know how much of a difference they make. But that defense is ready for the playoffs. They are ready. Just got to get the offense because you need a full game out of the offense, and they can't be that conservative. And that's the coaching doing that.
Scary.
Man, come on. You can't run.
No.
You can't run. I'm going, okay, they're going to give the ball to Saquon twice. And then, Jalen will run around, throw the ball out of bounds, and then punt.
And those zone runs, they're going nowhere.
Yeah, come on.
There was a 3rd and 8, and I've been bringing that up today. 3rd and 8, they ran the ball. I'm like, I get it. You're being conservative, but I mean, to shut the thing down.
Come on. Look,
I mean, it didn't make sense to me, but I got to ask you about one other guy here. I'll tell you this, man. This offseason, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, these guys are not very good. I saw Cam Jurgens. Gary, you know that sometimes when these guys make the Pro Bowl, that's a reputation pick.
I know.
And some of those he's terrible. I mean, he's getting destroyed.
I know. It was embarrassing. I mean, but I do know, though, that, at the same time, the guy's going out there and he's not, 100% and stuff. But that was embarrassing, and then, like I said, if you're feeling that bad, take yourself out, get somebody else in there. But I understand these guys, and I know he was having problems with his back and all this stuff. And who knows if it's that bad, maybe they should sit those guys down, because they don't need to go into the playoffs. You're not gonna win if you go in there you're playing a playoff game like that, because they got to break with the weather and everything, with the Bills and the defense just dominating them and everything. But offensively, you got to come out with more than that, and they got to expect a lot more when they get to these playoffs. And you got some good teams they're going to have to play. I mean, in order to beat some of these teams, you got to score some points.
Got to be balanced.
It's got to be balanced. And but yeah, those guys, boy, that was embarrassing, the way the guy treated him like a dish rag, man.
Man, he just whooped him on the point of attack, man. I'm telling you. Gary, I've been asking you this question. This will be the 18th week I've asked you this question.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Barkley, dude? I mean, if you take that 16-yard runaway at 52 yards rushing in this game, I mean, it's every week. Okay, against a stiff team, he gets some nice yards.
Yeah.
He puts up a nice game. But the Bills were 30th against the run.
I know.
And he had 60 yards.
I know.
I mean,
but I look at a lot of the
combination. Is it a combination between him and the line?
Without a doubt. Line? I know he's been looking for the big run and he's back there dancing and everything. But the two guys in the backfield when he gets the ball, I mean, I'm going aren't they going to take somebody out? I mean, the line was, that was. I know they were moving people up there because they were kind of, telegraphing. They're getting ready to run the ball. But my goodness, you got three guys in the backfield. One of them's got Saquon. The other one got his hand. One guy's got his hand around the guy's waist. The other one's got his hand around his neck. I mean, they were getting a lot of penetration. And looking at the tape, Buffalo, everybody was running against Buffalo, but the Eagles weren't able to run against them. So, but I just thought they got too conservative, and I think that they're just kind of telegraphing the run too, and they should have they did throw some of the ball a few times in the second half, but the way they were bringing everybody up, they were vulnerable. They could have thrown the ball against them, but they can't get in the habit of getting that passive in a game where you're just basically saying you're going to put it all on your defense, and where you're not trying to continue to score and be aggressive. Got to be a lot more aggressive than that. But we've seen this all year. But man,
hey Gary, I guarantee you this though: if Tanner McKee throws for 350 yards, okay, I mean it looks like Josh Johnson is starting. So depending on what happens on Saturday, the Eagles are going to play this game on Sunday. It might mean nothing. So if Tanner gets in there, and let's just say Tanner goes 24 of 31 for 338 yards and 3 touchdowns with no picks, and you see this ball going all over the field, educate me on how Philly will react to the backup quarterback if he goes and it's Tanner. If it's Scanner or McKee, how will that look?
Well, it's gonna, you're gonna see, and in fact, you need to start making the hats and everything, But they definitely would. You're gonna hear a lot of noise about it, no doubt about it, because Tanner looked good during the preseason, and he does. I mean, I look out there at practice. The kid has got a good arm. He's got a good feel, for the for being able to detect what coverage they're in, where he's going with the ball. He comes up with that, and really, if I be fair to him, he should be playing somewhere. Kid should be playing somewhere, and I expected teams to try to go after him after the preseason, and I expect during the offseason they're going to be making offers to him because he does have you see him, he does play like an NFL quarterback, and he's got very good vision. And got a great arm.
They offer him a deal in the offseason?
What's that?
You think they offer him a deal in the offseason?
Yeah, they'll probably offer him a better deal. Yeah, they probably will, because I don't think they're going to want to move him. So, only fair that they go ahead and give him some more money. Yeah, that would be fair, because the kid could play somewhere, and I don't know if they would do something. I'm thinking about if there's somebody, let's say, that maybe is
Saints,
but it'd have to be somebody. See, the Eagles would want to get somebody that's more like Jalen, with his ability to run. See, you have him as a backup, it would kind of fit.
I like that guy. I like that guy Willis up in Green Bay, and I like that guy in Baltimore.
Those
Huntley
would be guys which you figure, you should have a guy who's got some of the same abilities, and because I definitely think that they're going to be. Well, people have already, from what I understand, people have been interested in the Eagles' backup. So they've already gotten some interest, but it's something I could see them doing. But but who knows if they're going to let him get out of it at all. But if they feel, I think it's fair if he can go somewhere and start. You should let the kid have the opportunity to do that.
All right, I got to ask you a holiday question here.
Yeah.
So with everybody being over at the house, was Grandpa Cobb? How was your holidays? Was it hectic?
Well,
was it fun?
Well, they're going to hear me hollering at the TV. It's just like I've been talking. What are you doing? Well, you guys are bending in the. You're not going to try to score anymore. Come on, man. You got to be more aggressive. They would give you some of that. Which is.
Are they Eagle fans?
Oh yeah, they're Eagle fans. Yeah, they're Eagle fans. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not safe around here to be anything else.
Oh, and I get it. No.
Hey, if they're going to school, they don't want to be going in there with anything else on. No, it's Eagles.
Hey, if you move into Philadelphia, I give people advice when, hey, I'm going to be up in Philly. I go, what's your favorite team? They go, the Steelers. I go, lie. Tell them it's the Eagles. Don't ever tell them it's somebody like Pittsburgh or New York or like the Patriots. Just lie. You'll trust me when I tell you. You get served better and you'll get treated better if you go like this. Eagles.
Yeah, you're right. And the thing is, if they're in some place where the people are drinking,
no good.
Hey, make sure you got an Eagles hat to put on, some kind of Eagles stuff, maybe a little patch or something,
Oh, let me tell you, I got one last one for you. So I'm at an airport a couple of years back, and these two girls were at the ticket desk, and I walk up, and for whatever reason, they knew the show. This is a true story. And the two girls go like this. They saw my name on the ticket, and they go, oh, you're a Hurts hater. And I went like this. No, I'm not a Hurts hater. And so the lady goes like this to me. She's looking at me, and she goes, these guys all play for the Eagles, man. We love these guys. And I'm trying to get home, I'm sitting there and I'm like, so I go like this. I go, my back hurts. And I'm trying to get like an aisle seat up in the front. So she looked at me and she goes, I've heard that show years. And she goes, you know what? I think she put me first near the window. And I got on. Finally, she changed it. She goes like this. I don't want to hear any more trash talking on. This was at the airport. She's giving me shit at the airport. at the Philadelphia airport. When I went in, I did the Hooters thing, and this lady's giving me shit because holy cow, they're everywhere. These Eagle fans.
It's just very simple. People take football seriously here in Philadelphia.
I get it. Oh yeah. Oh no, it's a religion. Cobb, thank you so much for your time during this holiday.
All right, buddy.
Have a great Great New Year's and a great New Year's Eve. We appreciate you doing this always for
All
us. Thank
righty,
you,
and
brother. I
go
appreciate
Birds.
it. You got it. That's Gary Cobb from Box 29. Make sure you check him out, man. It's a true story. This was the time that Big Z got me off my ass and out of my Dan cave. So this was not going in. This was leaving. And I swear to God, two girls at the ticket desk started giving me shit. And they go, "Oh, you're like a Hurts hater." And I guess somebody had told them. I don't know. I go, "No, not a Hurts. I don't hate the guy. I don't hate anybody." Okay? I hate that number. 110 yards. I don't know. He was right. How many Jalen called runs did we see yesterday? How many empty field looks did we see? This is a play calling issue. It was a Nick Sirianni issue yesterday. I saw a guy running through Philly with a Bears jacket. No one could stop him. Hey, dude, I tell everyone, you go into Philly, lie. Don't ever tell anybody you're like a Redskin fan or somebody else. You get your ass beat up there, man. If they had a KC on their helmets, that pass to Devontae would not have been a PI. Hey, dude, I'm telling you, man. That one that he caught, I thought it was a catch. I did. Seals, my house divided. I'm an Eagle fan. My girl is a Cowboy fan. Where do you live is more important. Because if she lives in Philly, she's in trouble. Hurts was an MVP in the first half yesterday. Then it went to shit in the second half because of Paluto. Kevin Paluto? Is that his name now? Kevin Paluto? Tired of 30 minutes of football. That's all you've got. Hey, well, that's a great topic. Here's the identity of the Eagles. Getting better on defense rapidly. You know what's crazy, though? It's taken the Philadelphia Eagles defense this year. Here. You tell me if I'm wrong here on this. I think the Eagle defense a year ago got better. Week 6. This year, it got better. Green Bay. 16 points in 8 quarters of football. You held the Packers and the Lions. November 10th, which would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, by 9, 10. It took you 10 weeks and 9 games. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. It took you 4 games longer this year for that football team to start showing signs of being something that resembles last year. It's not last year. It's resembling it. Still sounds like starters are not playing based on Sirianni's comments. Well, I'm assuming that they're going to wait and see how the weekend plays out, though, not wanting the 2 seed. I'd want the 2 seed. Okay? I would. North Carolina, you're safe. When they inserted Coop in the starting lineup, okay? I believe that was after the bye. Am I right? It's because Dean was out. Well, they played great without Dean. That was not a good sign for Dean either on Sunday. Jahad Campbell was the best linebacker on the field, and I thought Bond was excellent. Kevin Paluto, second half mind pollution. Okay? Our backups would put up more points against the commies. The commies are going to surrender. Eagles are Frankie Louvo hit away from McKee's season. Thank God for Vic Fangio. Love your comments today, man, on this Monday. Please hit the like button. Appreciate you guys. Awesome here. Seals, bro, I look at this way. I've been watching NFL since I was 9. I'm now 59. If the Ravens won it all with Dilfer and their D, we have a shot this year with Vic. Well, I've told you this. You don't have to have an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You've proven that already. Seals, you played in the 14-10 against Penn State in 87. Or what? It was 87. Yes, I played in that. Yes, I did. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it was the most watched college football game of its kind to this day. 75 million people. It was the first college football national championship game of its kind. It really is what you see today. They took 2 independent teams. They moved us off the January 1st. Nobody had ever played outside of January 1. And so they moved it to January 2nd, and they created our own night. It was the first time there were no national championship games on January 1st. That was the first time of its kind. We played it on the 2nd, and it was in Tempe. Correct. Seals, look at the shit show on with the Raiders. Would you target Max Crosby in the offseason? No. How are you going to pay all these guys? I mean, you think Max Crosby is better? I don't need Max Crosby to win a Super Bowl. I don't need him. Sills, I don't think Allen could get to a Super Bowl, especially if he has to go through at least 2 of those AFC top defenses. I don't think Josh Allen could get to a Super Bowl with that roster and win 4 games in a row. I do not. His roster's not good enough. He's got some decent players on it, but I just don't think they're good enough. I mean, Josh Allen is a good football. He's a great football player on a pretty decent team. It's not a terrible team. It's just not an elite team. That's not an elite roster. Here's what the Eagles have. The Eagles have here. Does Seattle have an elite roster? I think John Schneider's done a freaking great job with that roster. That's a great-looking roster. I just don't think the quarterback's elite, but I told you, you don't have to have an elite roster. Seattle's got a great roster. The Bears kind of have a great roster, but not really on defense. Eagles roster's coming around to being really good. 49ers. I think John Lynch has done a spectacular job with that roster. I really do. John Lynch has done a good job. That Rams roster is elite. I don't think the Packers is. I don't think the Panthers or the Bucks. Broncos. I don't think the Broncos have an elite offensive roster. Defensively, they do. I don't think the Patriots are elite. The Jags, I do. I think a lot of the groundwork, and I agree with Xander, a lot of the groundwork that Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson did and what they did by building that roster, hey, there's a shot the Jaguars could actually win the top seed in the AFC if everything plays right this weekend. Man, get this. How many people are buying the Texans? I want to show you something here. Big Z, check this out. The Texans started out 0-3. 0-3. Let me go down here. 0-3. Look at that. And since September 28th, they have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They've won 11 of 13 ball games. They're 11-2. Since September 28th, they're 11-2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. And get this, they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row. And they've beaten Jacksonville. And they've beaten the Chargers. I mean, that Nico Collins can play. And here, everyone was saying a couple years ago that C.J. Stroud has taken steps back. Like where? Every year he's been in the league, since his rookie season, he's taken him to the playoffs. And Stroud missed some games this year. He's going to have 19 touchdowns and 9 interceptions with 3,000 passing yards. And how many ball games? He's played 13 games. I mean, this guy's missed what? 3 games? Right? 2 games? And he's won a shitload of football games, and their defense is spectacular. If you're going to shit on the Eagles for bad offense, the Texans are the same thing. Are they? Let's take a look at that. Houston Texans offense. Texans. They're 19th in total. The Eagles are 22nd. Passing. Texans are 16th. The Eagles are 23rd. Rushing. Texans are 23rd. The Eagles are 15th. Scoring. They're pretty comparable. Texans are 18th. Eagles are 17th. Red zone. Eagles are 1. Texans are 31st. Whew, that's a shitty. Third downs. Texans are 20th. Eagles are 24th. It's pretty compatible. Pretty even. Let's see what's the other guys though. Yeah, they don't have a 1,000-yard rusher. They got a guy with 655 and Chubb with 5. Chubb's had 500 yards this year. Nico Collins is a really good football player. He really is. Why is Jalen Hurts in the NFL record book for some of the most pathetic reasons? Talking about making your point, but the standard is not the standard. Well, tell me what you're talking about in the record books. Because it's not for passing, that's for sure. If you look at Hurts's records and accomplishments, they're all team-based. Majority of them are team-based. There's nothing individual skill set-wise. Most of them are team-based. And the turnovers are important. Lack thereof. Yes, I agree with that. Okay? Yes. Get this. Kyle, the Bills need better DTs, and they still killed the Eagles. I'm worried about the Seahawks more than any other team. I agree with you. John McMullen and Xander don't think the Seahawks. I'm not speaking for Xander, but I heard John. And I think the Seahawks are going to be a problem for somebody. I do. And you know what they're basing it on? They're basing it on 2 ball games. 2 ball games in Sam Darnold's career. 2 ball games. The same way they're basing Justin Herbert in the postseason. That game against Jacksonville. That's it. Those guys have to change those narratives. The only problem is this is not like Dak Prescott's postseason record. One's played in 2 preseason. One guy's played in 1 playoff game, Sam Darnold, and the other guy's played in 1 playoff game. Okay, 1 playoff game. Well, Jalen Hurts stunk in his first playoff game against the Bucs. He was terrible. Hey, Sills, think of it this way. We don't have an offense. We have field position unit. The goal is to just set up our kicker punt unit and our defense. Shit, man, that's how the Patriots won Super Bowls in the early part of Tom Brady's career. I do think that Baker Mayfield has completely cooled off. That team is leaderless. I mean, the loss of Liam Cohn has been a factor. The loss of Liam Cohn as the offensive coordinator in Tampa has been more significant than the loss of Ben Johnson to Detroit. When Liam Cohn left, Baker Mayfield has fallen apart. It's completely fallen apart. Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback to have 2 turnovers on the same play. That's a weird play, dude. Also, only quarterback to have multiple wins of 0 completions in the second half. You're cherry picking some shitty things, but all true, unfortunately. Nico Collins underrated. Texans defense is lethal. They are phenomenal. Sills, do you think Burrow should get picked up by the Bucs? Yes. Yes. I actually think if I was Joe Burrow, I'd go to Minnesota. Put Joe Burrow in Minnesota with Brian Flores as the D coordinator and with that offensive weapons with Addison and Jefferson, it'd be the same that he had in Cincinnati with T. Higgins and with Jamar Chase. I don't think Mike Evans is going to be around. I think he's probably going to leave and go to Kansas City. All true. Unfortunately, nothing unfortunate about sucking. Do better, Jalen. The guy's resume is awful good. You think Allen wants out of Buffalo? No, I do not think he wants out. Unfortunately, I don't think the Bills have done enough in building that team. What have they done? Who have they added? Name me a spectacular player that they've added outside of him. Can you? Cook, the running back. Give me another one. I can't believe the Pagulos don't spend money either. They're the owners of the Sabres, and I can't believe they don't spend the money. They just got a brand new stadium. Maybe that'll change the fortunes. They can. People don't. Hey, free agents. Yeah, Kincaid's good. I'll give you that. But free agents don't want to go play in Buffalo. I mean, the taxes in New York and the cold weather. Who wants to do that? Yeah, and the GM. I'm not a fan of the GM or the coach. What do you think the Colts do with Steichen? I want him back with the Eagles. I don't think they're letting anything. Dude, I don't believe that they're going to do anything with Shane Steichen. The quarterback went down. When Daniel Jones went down, you called the 44-year-old. By the way, they didn't lose games this year because of Phillip Rivers. They lost games because that defense fell apart. Pagula gave a shitload of F money to Penn State men's hockey. Is he a Penn State guy? I didn't know that. Do you think Tom Brady could have won a chip if he was the Bills quarterback versus Allen? Do you think Tom Brady could have won a chip if he was the Bills quarterback versus Allen being the quarterback? Yeah. Tom Brady is one of those players like Joe Montana. When he was younger, didn't need anybody to win a Super Bowl. He didn't have anybody. He had a Hall of Fame tight end and nobody else when he was in New England. When he got older, he had to go to Tampa. And Tampa had really a Hall of Fame. The first Hall of Fame wide receiver that he won a Super Bowl with is Mike Evans. Evans is going to the Hall of Fame. Nobody else in New England is going to the Hall of Fame. And you know what? I'll tell you something, too. Somebody brought it up. I think it was Jason Cole. Those 2 Super Bowls that Eli Manning won, not one player on offense will go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's a pretty good commentary on him. Nobody off those Eli Manning teams is going to Canton. Not one player, tight end, running back, no O lineman. He won 2 Super Bowl MVPs with not one Hall of Fame player. That's kind of crazy. A tremendous comparison. John Elway and Josh Allen, yes. Yes. That's, if I were going to compare, Stafford would be like Marino. Montana is like Burrow, skill set wise. Mahomes is like Randall Cunningham. Like that. Jim Kelly is kind of like Trevor Lawrence. A big physical dude. Allen is a right-handed Young. Young's not as big as you think. He's like 6'2". Allen's 6'5 and a half. 255 pounds. The Montana, who was the best quarterback ever? And he said Marino. Joe said that because of skill set. See, Mike, this is the same thing that I tell people. Dan Marino had the best skills of any quarterback in pro football history. Well, when I bring up that kind of conversation about Hurts, that's what I'm talking about. Montana's the greatest winner of all time, in my opinion, when it comes to winning a 60-minute football game. That includes Brady. But the guy who had the most skill from the pocket and could throw the best, nobody threw the football like Dan Marino. I saw Dan Marino stand on the goal line at the Orange Bowl, on the goal line, throw it to the other goal line with 2 steps. 1, 2. Threw it 100 yards. I've never seen anything like it. Kelly almost could do it too. But I saw Marino with 2 steps throw a ball 100 yards. Like on a spiral. Guy was amazing, man. I've never seen anything like it. And, back in the day, people threw the ball 25 times. He threw the ball 50 times. Just a tremendous, Marino changed the game. But he was 7-9 in the postseason. Marino was 7-9. Elway Elway. Well, remember, also, John Elway was 0-3 in Super Bowls until they got a running game. Then he went 2-3. When they didn't have the running game, he was 0-3. Jalen Hurts is Cordell Stewart, and Tanner's Kurt Warner. Let's be real, Sills. I think Jalen's better than Cordell. Cordell got to a Super Bowl. I get it. But I think Jalen's better than Cordell. Allen is a child of Big Ben and Cam Newton. Those are 3 of the biggest people that have ever played the position of quarterback. That's a fact. Big Ben is gargantuan. And Cam Newton, I told you, I met him at a Super Bowl. He came walking towards me, and I'm sitting down on my post when I was doing my show there in New Orleans. And he was supposed to come on my program. The runners bring these guys over because they're promoting something always for companies. They hire them when they go to the Super Bowls. So that's why, when you go to a Super Bowl and you do your show there and you get invited, like I think I went to like 15 or 20 of them. All these players come over, the Montanas, everybody comes over because they're pimping something. Cam Newton was walking towards me, and I'm sitting here and I'm going like, holy criminy, that's Cam Newton? Dude, he's like 6'7". And he looked like Reggie White. I was like, I couldn't believe the size of the guy. Ben, too. Huge. These are big men, man. Sills, the only guy I think could give Marino a run for his money was Moon. Who would you take over those two? Clearly Marino. But Warren Moon, if you put the $6K that he had in Canada, then the 47,000 he threw in the NFL, I mean, you're talking about a guy, 60,000 passing yards. Tremendous player. I love Warren Moon, who's been on the program. By the way, we have to get him on again. We haven't had him on. Yeah, he's like Cam's like 6'6". He was so enormous. How tall? Cam Newton. He's 6'5". Yeah, I don't know. Roster in Auburn listed him at 6'6". He's 6'6", 250. Just a big dude. By the way, he's bigger than Jalen Phillips. Allen's like 6'6". Yeah, like he's like that. He's like 255. Yeah, him and Namath. Great dude. I really love Steve McNair. Had great relationship with him. Great guy. Tennessee loved him too. Byron Leftwich, I really had a great. I knew Byron from the days in Tampa when he was the OC for Bruce Arians. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of don't. I don't know. I don't know. Guy came up with some sort of. He doesn't know me from a can of paint. He thinks he does. He's one of those guys that pretends to know me, but he really doesn't. I mean, there's a bunch of people that think they know me. I know the guy. No, you don't. No, you don't. Xander knows me. Okay? He knows me. Is Todd Bowles on the hot seat? I believe so. Brad Johnson's a great friend of mine, too, yes. Hey, Dan, how many Hall of Fame players have multiple Super Bowl wins? I know the stats matter more for the Hall of Fame, but multiple Super Bowl winners. Well, I know this. Defensively, Charles Haley has 5. I don't know if any other player has more than 5. Haley won 3 with the Cowboys and 2 with the Niners. I can't think of anybody on those New England teams that has won 5 or more. I think Haley, for a defensive player, has the most. Brady has the most, obviously, as an offensive player. But I think Haley has 5 Super Bowls. Yeah, next week is firing day, next Monday. This coming Monday. That's a great topic. That's a great topic. I should have did this with Xander. Coaches that will be fired. Patriots, no. How many job openings? Dolphins, maybe. I actually think that Mike McDaniels has done a great job and saved his job. So I'm going to put a star by that. Jets, dude, I don't trust Woody Johnson. Have you seen that team? They're terrible. The Bengals, the Browns, the Titans, the Raiders, the Giants, the Bucks. I think he's 50-50. Atlanta, they'll fire him. Raheem. I think Gannon's getting fired. You potentially, on Monday, next Monday, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 firings by next Monday. You could have 10 coaching openings. I probably think that Bucks one. They'll probably give Bowles another shot. I don't know if they'll blow out. I don't know if they'll blow out Pete Carroll in Las Vegas, but Jonathan Gannon is gone. Giants probably not keeping Mike Kafka. No, they're probably gonna go out of and look for a new head football coach. No, they're gonna get a new offensive coordinator in there. That's a great call, Mike McCarthy. Yeah. All right, let me pay some bills here. All right, folks, our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. We thank these guys so much for being part of our program. I can't thank them enough. We so appreciate it. Listen, the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. They win. And during this holiday season, listen, friends, if you're in this position right now where you've got to make a decision, if you've ever been injured on the job, guys, do me a favor. This will be the easiest decision you've ever made. Hurt in an Uber, hurt at work. Call my friends at Morgan & Morgan because they will take care of you like no other. It's a family-run business, and they've been in business for over 25 years. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sil sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years, and that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Appreciate you coming aboard here. Would you compare the Jalen Phillips signing to Saquon Barkley signing of a year ago for Howie Roseman? Look at the last two years. Excuse me. Look at the last 2 years. A lot of the signs that he had were not really great signs this year. I mean, outside of, take Phillips out of it, what really was a significant sign that he brought a player in? Who? Nobody on offense? The guys on defense? Besides the draft picks? I think it's like Ajayi. Yeah, but this guy's going to be like Eric Blunt. I'm going to rank Howie signings here the last couple of years. Bond is better than Barkley. Barkley had more impact a year ago. Bonds followed it up with another all-pro year. Guy's all-pro. Saquon, and I agree with Xander. I think that, Barkley's back to being who he is. 1,100 yards, 1,200 yards, 71 yards a game. That's who he is. Last year was an outlier. It was like Roger Maris hitting 60 home runs. That was something that was Saquon Barkley's not that player. Saquon Barkley's 4 yards a carry, 1,200 yards, 285 carries, and 9 touchdowns. That's who he is. That year he had a year ago was an outlier year. Players have those. They have these insane years, and they never duplicate it ever again. Very few times do you ever see a player. I mean, Derrick Henry has players like that and has years like that every year. Like Derrick Henry's going to go over 50. Derrick Henry's got to play Sunday night, right? He's got to play against Pittsburgh. Derrick Henry has a shot. How many yards is he away from another 1,500-yard year? And I'll tell you, I know he has the most 1,500-yard plus seasons of any player in NFL history. So they can win this division. And God knows what Lamar's going to do. I think they've got to move on from him. I do. Too much BS. Yeah. So Derrick Henry right now is 41 yards away. Excuse me. He's 31 yards away from having another 1,500-yard season. He's at 5.1 yards a carry, and he's got 15 touchdowns. Excuse me. He's got 16 touchdowns on the season. He's got 1,469. He's 31 years old. He'll be 32 next week or this week. And he's got 16 touchdowns at 5 yards a carry. That guy's a freaking beast. I mean, what a ball player. And if they're going to win the championship, the AFC North, they're going to have to go through him. Let me take a look at this. How many plus 1,500-yard years? I think he has the record. Derrick Henry. Man, my wife saw him the day of the draft, and she goes, that guy's going to be special. He is some ball player. And here's Derrick Henry here. How many 1,500-yard years? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to have 5 years of 1,500 yards plus. He's right now 118 yards away from 13,000 rushing yards. And he's got 122 touchdowns right now. I mean, he's got to be in the top 5. That's crazy great. I mean, he's got to be. Where is he now in the all-time list? NFL all-time rushers. Derrick Henry right now is 10th. He won't pass Dickerson till next year, but he'll be at 13,000. Next year he'll pass LaDainian Tomlinson, Jerome Bettis, and he'll be 6th. And he'll pass Curtis Martin. It will be only Adrian Peterson, Barry Sanders, Frank Gore, Walter Payton, and Emmitt Smith to have more rushing yards than Derrick Henry. TD rushes, all-time TD rushing. Henry's 4th with 122. He needs one more to pass Marcus Allen, and only LaDainian Tomlinson and Emmitt Smith will have rushed for more touchdowns in NFL history than him. Where's Saquon? Saquon's 76th with 55. By the way, Z, I think I had 2 supers that I missed. Henry better than Gore easily. Oh, yeah. Derrick Henry is in the same conversation with Adrian Peterson. Who do you think next upcoming coach is? I think Chris Shula, the defensive coordinator for the Rams. I think that the Joe Brady is going to be up for a job, the offensive coordinator in Buffalo. I believe that the quarterback coach in Buffalo also will be up. I think Todd Monken will be up for a job. I think some guys may get opportunities again. Would be Brian Flores. I think he should get another opportunity. Can you get Angelo Cataldi on your show? We get him on all the time. His puppy died. I'm giving him a break. So the next time Angelo comes on, we'll do it next week. His puppy died during the holidays. Keep Petula. You'd be a fool to intentionally do otherwise. Good old M. Reyes, the Pied Piper of NovaCare. That's what this guy needs. He needs a shirt that says M. Reyes, NovaCare Pied Piper. Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Let's ask my boy some questions here. Hey, you think Kevin Petula is a good OC? And Reyes, do you think that Kevin Petula is a good offensive coordinator? Yes or no? He's developing into one. Did you watch the Buffalo game, folks? He's developing into one. Okay? He's developing into one. Hey, he's developing into one. All right? Now let's do another one here. He's going to have even more solid grasp of concepts after a year of experience. What concepts? Your quarterback can't read a defense. Your quarterback doesn't want concepts. Dude, what a fucking idiot. They're knocking on Petula's door right now as we speak with the gold jacket. Yeah. Novacare Glazer. How you doing? The Novacare Glazer. The glazed donut. I will say this to you guys. That was a pretty big win, though. It was. Concepts. M. Reyes had the audacity to say Kevin Petullo in passing concepts in the same breath. Passing concepts and Kevin Petullo. I mean, it's tremendous. What a take. Let's see. Sills was clearly still hiding in the closet when Pumper for the first half of yesterday's game. Hiding in what closet? You're never going to get consistency out of that quarterback. Ever. Ben Johnson's staff. Guys off that staff, right. Was Peyton Manning a more talented quarterback than Brady? I think they're the same. But he couldn't beat him and get past the hump and beat him. Why? Well, I think because dome teams can't play outside. I think it was more to that. Dome teams can't play outside. How many teams that have won Super Bowls played in domes? Let's take a look at that. Super Bowl list. How many teams have won Super Bowls that have played indoors? Green Bay outside, Jets outside, KC outside, Cowboys outside, Raiders outside, Steelers outside, Niners outside, Raiders, Giants, Bears, Washington, Green Bay, Broncos, St. Louis. St. Louis. What else? Let's see here. Patriots, Colts. Okay. New Orleans Saints. Let's see. Broncos, Patriots, Kansas City, Bucks, Rams. LA. So, in 60 years, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dome teams in 60 years. And how many dome teams are in the playoffs this year? That'd be none in the NFC side except the Rams. And in the AFC, the Texans and the Chargers are the only teams. There's 3 out of the 14 teams. Teams that play in domes don't win Super Bowls. Let's see. Rams last one with Warner. And no, the Rams also with Stafford at SoFi. Is Kevin Stefanski going to be a coach in Cleveland next season? Shador time. My friend, they're drafting a quarterback. They've got 2 number 1 picks. They're drafting a quarterback. Shador Sanders is not the future in Cleveland. He's not. They're going to draft a quarterback in the first round. I don't really think it's that great of a draft class, but Shador Sanders is not the future in Cleveland. I mean, he's not. Do you know how many quarterbacks that have beaten the Steelers? Tyrod Taylor beat him. Deshaun Watson. I think, Deshaun Watson last year. Jameis Winston beat the Steelers. I mean, he's not the future in Cleveland. Never called us that. I've known Joe Theismann for 30 years. He never called me that. Maybe. Still, chill. We're gonna go back to back like Jordan, 96, 97. Here's the difference, though. Jordan and the Bulls could score points. They had an offense. I don't think Shador's that great. I think if you developed him, I think you could develop into something. He looks like something. He does. But he's not going to carry a franchise. No, well, Shador doesn't play on time, and Shador holds the ball too long. But if I had to pick a guy who's been in bigger games and all that, Shador's never been in big games. He was, 14-13 at Colorado? I mean, what did he ever win? They didn't win any bowl games. They didn't beat a top 25 team the entire time they were there. So to sit there and say that, the guy reminds you of Jalen. Jalen was the Southeastern Conference Player of the Year. This guy won an SEC title game. This guy got to a championship game. This guy got to a playoff with Oklahoma as well. Shador didn't do any of that in college. I mean, Jalen played – his college career was superior to Shador's. Shador may have had more pub and more fame around him, but he didn't have a better career than Jalen Hurts in college. Just because you get your dad in the building and he retires your number, that doesn't mean you were good. Shador isn't the athlete that Jalen is. That's a problem. That's right. If you can't play on time. Yeah, because you can't take off running. So the Bulls era, they won. The Bulls era when they won all those championships was one of the lowest scoring eras in basketball. As a matter of fact, David, one of the greatest things about and one of the more underrated things about those Bulls teams, remember something, when Jordan retired, Jordan had won the Defensive Player of the Year, and Jordan was third in NBA history in steals. Pippen was one of the greatest defenders of all time, and you had maybe the greatest sub-7-foot defender of all time in Rodman. He was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. I think he won 13 rebounding titles. I mean, that was a defensive team, that Bulls team. The Bulls were just, that's one of my favorite teams because everyone had a role on that team. And they were tremendous defensively. I mean, right? You had Tex Winter, the offensive guy, and you had Clemens, the defensive guy. You had Clemens and Tex Winter, and you had Phil Jackson. Those were the guys who were his assistant coaches. One handled defense, one handled offense. And Tex created the triangle, turning it around where the point was the focal point of that. It was a tremendously run organization. And Jerry Krause doesn't get enough love for that. This is a great defensive team. You went from Horace Grant to Dennis Rodman. And you found Pippen. I forget, Arkansas, Little Rock, something. He was from a small school. And he found him, made the trade for Rodman. I mean, it's just well done. Sills, is Bond the biggest steal in the last decade in the free agency? Dude, I'm starting to think this Darnold guy might be because, you're 27. Chances to go 28-6 at the most important position. 28-6? Shit. That's a lot of winning. Greatest intro of all time, too, by the way. Let's not forget that. Eagles heating up. Not offensively, that's for sure. Yeah, no, not offensively. Love the Bulls in the 90s. Kukoc, Kerr, Longley, Rodman, Harper, MJ. Hell, look at the revolving door at center they had. Cartwright, Longley, like you said. Winning. I think they had another guy in there. I forget his name. Whittington. Like, they had a bunch of centers in there that were just dudes. Bills fired their kicker. Why? Because he didn't get the extra point? Did they really? If the Steelers lose, is Tomlin gone? I just got a report here on this. That so the Bills, Spencer Brown calls out Eagles DT Jalen Carter for being a dirty player, taking a nasty swipe, took a long right hook to the eyeball. I saw that play. I think this guy's a douchebag. I thought it was an accident. I don't think he was a dirty player, but he just called Jalen Carter. I saw that. It was sometime I had both of my eyes. People accidentally sometimes poked you in the eye, offensive linemen, when they put their hands up. I've been poked in the eye like that, and he thinks he did it on purpose. I saw the play. I did. I didn't think it was a cheap shot. Here's, I guess Adam Schefter went on Pat McAfee today and said there's a possibility on Sunday, if the Steelers lose, that Mike Tomlin could go into the broadcasting booth this coming 2026 season. I think he'd be fabulous in the booth. Carter's known for smacking people upside the head. I actually like that. By the way, he is getting the Ndamukong Suh treatment. You can see it. I thought they were going to call him on it, though. Huh. Really? Okay. I'll have to go back and look at that. In today's game, Curry, to me, is the most influential player. He changed the game for better or worse, and they're trying to emulate him. He's the only guy that's really taken advantage of the three-point line for sure. See, I thought it was this too. I thought it was bad hand placement by the O-lineman, and Carter got insanely violent hands, though, and I thought it was that too. I did. I thought it was more that the O-lineman, I thought he had poor hand placement. Very well. Very well. He was a walk-on at Auburn. And during that time, they had Bo Jackson. And they had, I got to show you this. Love him. And Kevin Green, who passed away, was a defensive end. And, he tremendous player. He was what we called the tweener. They didn't know how to play him. He was a linebacker, and you know who he looks like? He looks like TJ Watt, Kevin Green, and Kevin Green was a great player. Let me see if I can find this here. We were really good friends. Really just phenomenal friends here. Let me see if I can find this. And yeah, he played at Auburn. Kevin Green. God, I love the guy. Played for the Steelers. Played for the Steelers. Okay, so check this out. This is one of Sports Illustrated's all-time teams. This is on my Facebook. And get this. These were guys that were like underrated in college. And Sports Illustrated put this out. Look at the names on this team. Jason Buck, Walter Johnson, Carl Mecklenburg, Dan Sileo, Kevin Green. You see who that guy down there? His name is Wes Hopkins, SMU, Gary Plummer, and me. Sports Illustrated put that list up. Jason Buck won the Outland Trophy, and these were the most underrated college football players in college football history. And it's pretty cool. Yeah, well, I can't put it straight up there because the light. Kevin Green is in a small group of pass rushers who amassed 100 sacks in a decade. I think he's got 156. Doesn't say Dan, San. It says Dan, jackass. Dan, right there. Dan. Can I do that? No. The hell do I know? Love Wes Hopkins and Andre Waters. Best pair of safeties ever. He wasn't underrated. Yes, Sports Illustrated's always been cool to me. And it put me on an all-time college football team. By the way, that's one of the honors that I really do dig. You can Google that too. It's pretty cool. Wes Hopkins and Dirty Waters, tremendous football players. Just tremendous players. It's a shame that Kevin passed away. I think he was a coach in Pittsburgh when he died. I got the call. I used to get him on my show. Love Kevin Green. He would have been a great guest on here. Yeah, he would have been I don't know if we had him. By the way, Xander, did you see that thing I posted? Kyle Whittingham got the head coaching job at Michigan. Kyle's been on the program. I'm going to get him again on the program. I've already texted him to come on the show. The brand new head football coach at Michigan. And he's agreed. He just needs a little time to go through and meet all the players. But we had him on about 2 years ago. Kyle Whittingham. Says, what happened to the Steelers to trying to not give up a sack when they should be trying to win the game? That was just a poor game against the Browns. Yeah, they were doing everything in their power not to have that sack for Myles Garrett. I get it. I saw that. Yeah, I mean, I was like, dude, win the ball game. Kevin Green, Greg Lloyd, that was a really good group of players that they had. That's really great. Yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't hear Kyle Whittingham, 21 years at Utah, has been named the head football coach at Michigan. I think it's a better hire than Lane Kiffin. That guy is a great coach. He's won everywhere he's been. And the 21 years, I mean, look at his resume. He is a great coach. Lane's won at one place, Ole Miss. Nowhere else. He's not won anywhere. Okay? Eric Weddle, friend. He coaches the high school my daughter went to, Rancho Bernardo. All right, guys. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. Folks, I tell you this all the time. We're so proud to have them part of the program. And we are so proud to make sure that you understand, if you're ever injured on the job, there's a reason why over $30 billion has been recovered. It's because Morgan & Morgan and their team of attorneys defends families like yours coast to coast. No matter what it is, they will look at your case. Remember, they don't get paid unless you win. Simple as that. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sales sent you. Yeah!
There's a reason the Karate Master was the #1 salesman in the lumber department.
Karate.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Coach Josh Brown tomorrow. Hasn't been on in a bit. We're going to get his ass back on here, and we're going to have him on tomorrow. We're going to talk a little NFL football with him. So Coach will be on with us, and we'll have him on. We're also going to get Doc Walker on this week, talk a little Commanders. Always great to catch up with Doc Walker. We appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Please hit that like button. 2 to 6 tomorrow. Big Z, Joe, thank you. And we will see you on the flip side.